Happy New Year, Wolfpack Nation. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi, back with you here at Invisalign Arena as NC State back from over a month break off the ice and ready to take on Rowan University. The Profs here in town, they'll play the Ice Pack a couple of times here this weekend, but it's going to be a very different look, Nick, for this NC State team, and that's where we're going to start before we get into kind of what happened last semester for the Ice Pack. Got a lot of guys missing here. A total of 5 guys missing, including Captain Garrett Arini, Ricky Frosch, Alex James, Alex Robinson, just to name a few, as well as Drew Bressingham, and of course, one of the most important positions, head coach Tim Healy over there as well. So we're going to see a lot of different faces tonight. Yeah, and for those who don't know, all those people are out in Europe right now with the ACC HL All-Star team, which is something really cool to see. They did pick up a win today, and I did see 2 Ice Pack players score a goal. I saw Drew Bressingham get one, and I believe Zach Robinson was the other goal scorer for them today. But you're right, Chris, there is going to be a lot of missing pieces tonight. Obviously, your head coach, Tim Healy, is gone. Eric Muir and Alex Rosetto are both combining coaching efforts tonight, if you will. They're making a lot of changes, so expect not very similar lines as the game goes on. Expect a lot of changes. And in terms of the players, expect someone to step up in terms of leadership. It's a very young team, and especially when your captain, a couple alternates are gone, you're going to see someone have to step up, and especially against a team like Rowan, you want some leadership tonight. Yeah, and you look at it, the most recent rankings for the Southeast region of ACHA D2 hockey has NC State sitting at number 9, Rowan sitting at number 16. So it's going to be an interesting test. These two teams did meet earlier in the season. Rowan actually picking up the win 2-1 over NC State. So it's going to be an interesting test tonight. But before we get into that, I want to kind of take a look back at how NC State finished up the semester. We saw them win 2 games, sweep a series here at home against Texas A&M, then go on the next weekend to take on Maryland. Really without too much issue. They seem to have figured things out. And then a tough ending to that Governor's Cup game kind of leaves a sour taste in the Ice Pack's mouth coming into this new semester. Yeah, it does. And when we talk to head coaches for tonight, Eric Muir, Alex Rosetto, they mentioned you got to have just a really distant memory about that game. Turn a new leaf. Don't let it kind of linger around. Because the way that game ended, the Ice Pack tied the game up, if you remember right, with about 90 seconds left, got the crowd going in it. And then the thing that's kind of plagued them a lot this year, Chris, is right after they score a goal, they kind of get a little too aggressive, or they just kind of don't get set defensively, and they oftentimes give up a goal right away, which is what happened. And the big difference maker last time they played Rowan was a very similar play. So it wasn't very like a blowout, but it hurts to lose a game like that, especially when you had the extra attacker on, had 2 or 3 chances at net, you just couldn't hammer it home. So you can't let it linger around. But if you're a player, you got to think about it going back to that game. Like, you want that one back, and you want to get redemption tonight, and you want to start building momentum. You don't want to look ahead to that next UNC game, but you want momentum going into it. Well, the two teams have finished up warm-ups. Before we get into this matchup specifically, we're going to step aside here on PackTV. We'll be back with NC State and Rowan shortly.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
From the top of DH Hill Library.
Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi back with you here as we get set at Invisalign Arena for your NC State Ice Pack to take on the Rowan Profs here to start the new year. And Nick, as we start to look at this game, NC State coming in 9-10 overall, 9-9 in D2 play, but they're looking to get things going on the right foot here tonight. As we talked about, a lot of fluidity in the lineup tonight. There aren't really many lines that are going to be the same. In fact, talking with the coaching staff before the game, really only the top line, which they're probably going to lean on a little bit. Zach Harmon centering Kaufman and Shook is going to be a very important line. Shook and Kaufman have been wing pairings together really all season, and that's really the only familiarity in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, that first line as well. We got your leading point scorers all on that first line, which is a huge plus for NC State, especially because of how young they are and the fact that they're with us tonight. However, the deeper you get in your lineup, you're going to have to look for someone to make a name, someone who hasn't played all of these games, maybe only played a handful of games this year. Someone like that is going to have to make a name for themselves tonight, say, hey, I deserve playing time almost every single night or every single night. So why not me? Let me show that tonight, and let me show the coaches that I'm for real.
Yeah, another thing that we want to look at is something that's a focus for the team here tonight, special teams. One of the goals of the second semester is to improve the numbers special teams-wise. So I think it's encouraging to hear from the coaching staff that that was something that looked good the other night in practice. Yeah, especially since the penalty kill right now is at 78% for NC State. The power play is at 20%. Definitely could use some improvement, but when you go back to the coaches mentioning that last practice, Chris, the availability for people to step up in those roles who normally aren't on the special teams, able to have a good practice, look good, get that momentum going in tonight is a huge plus for the Ice Pack. Yeah, and I want to now kind of turn and look at this team that's coming in, the Profs from Rowan University, here tonight to take on NC State. Play again tomorrow night as well, so you're going to see plenty of them this weekend. But for NC State, there's really one line to keep an eye on, and that's that Tellerico line, number 19 for Rowan, top points getter for this team. They're really loaded up top, this Rowan team. Yeah, you mentioned Tellerico, top points getter. He's also tied in the lead for assists, leading goal scorer, also tied with assists, and on that line, number 10, Zangara for the Profs. So when you're looking out there tonight, look for 19 and 10. That's that top line for the Profs. Also have some depth a little bit as well in terms of goal scorers, and people are able to get points on a good portion of that roster. And one position for NC State that didn't really take any hit in this Europe trip, as we mentioned, 5 guys gone, both forwards and defensemen. They've got all 3 goaltenders, and they like all 3 goaltenders. So good certainly to have them for a 2-game weekend, but we're going to see Addison Lawrence in net tonight. By the numbers, he's the top goaltender for this Ice Pack team. Yeah, he is, and he wasn't able to play the last time these two teams met. He played the day before, so being able to go out against a new opponent in Rowan, who only put up 2 last time, a good goal-scoring game, low-scoring defensive game, and being able to go out there tonight fresh off a break, show a little bit of that leadership as well back in the net, I think is a good opportunity for him. I think the other thing that's nice about having Lawrence in net, particularly for this first game of the new semester with probably a little bit of a lack of chemistry because you don't have the familiarity in the lineup. It's good to have a strong backstop back there that you can rely on if you do, inevitably really slip up, just because of the fact that these guys have not necessarily spent a lot of time playing with each other.
No, they have not. They've only had 2 practices since coming back from winter break, so it's been a while since they've really kind of touched the puck, gotten chemistry back with each other. Obviously, that shouldn't be as big of a problem, but when you don't have those leaders up front coming off of a break like this, it can be a little challenging, and that's why I think tonight the Ice Pack need to just kind of keep those emotions in check, look to each other, say, hey, I got your back, you got my back, let's roll.
Well, we're inching closer and closer to puck drop here on a new calendar year for the NC State Ice Pack. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the keys to the game as we get you ready for puck drop between NC State and Rowan.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
It's hard to always know what's going on with your kids. The Talk They Hear You mobile app and Screen for Success tool can help. The mobile app shows you how to turn everyday situations into opportunities to talk with your kids about alcohol and other drugs. Screen for Success helps you find out if your child needs more support by asking about their health, wellness, and well-being. Keep your kids safe and healthy. Download the free Talk They Hear You mobile app and start using Screen for Success today.
Minutes away from puck drop here at Invisalign Arena as we get set for NC State to take on Rowan University. And we're now going to take a look at our 3 keys to the game for these teams here tonight. We're going to start with NC State, and one of them we highlighted a little bit already, and that was special teams.
Yeah, special teams tonight is going to be a very big key factor. And we mentioned that they had a good practice, but not all the times does practice roll into gameplay. Sometimes things are different. Full speed gameplay might affect that. When you have new names stepping up, you don't really want to get into those penalty kills. Obviously, you want the power play. That might be a little bit of a struggle, but you take them as you get them. The penalty kill tonight, I think NC State really needs to keep their emotions in check. We always say it. They need to just quit taking a lot of penalties, but I think tonight they really need to hammer that down and say, hey, nothing stupid. Let's just play our brand of hockey, but let's also try to get underneath their skin a bit since Rowan takes a lot of penalties themselves.
Yeah, and when you look at the fact that they're a little bit shorthanded on the lineup department, certainly not a bad thing if you're NC State to stay out of the penalty box. Another thing that was really kind of a theme for us throughout the first semester was consistency, a consistency of energy and effort, and you kind of mentioned it when we look at the fact that NC State gave up those 2 goals late after tying the game against North Carolina in the Governor's Cup. So you got to have that consistency in there as well.
Yeah, you do, and I always said it this past semester. They need to play a full 60 minutes of hockey against a D2 Premier Division team. We haven't really seen that. We saw the first game with ECU. Granted, the circumstances there, putting up 17 goals, that will do it for you. But since then, there's been times where NC State's looked like they can compete with the best of the best. Example, that Kentucky game we saw earlier, who's ranked number 3 right now, and there's another team, Indiana, who they kept up with as well. But then there's other times where they just kind of a little bit lackluster. A lot of times that Governor's Cup, it seemed like UNC was just dominating the offensive end. So I think getting out there tonight, being consistent, saying, hey, all right, we scored a goal here. Let's get back on the ice. Let's treat it as it's 0-0 right now, and let's keep hammering it home.
On our third and final key as we wrap things up here in the pregame. We talked about the top lines, and I think that's going to be important. If you're NC State tonight, that top line of Kaufman, Harmon, and Shook is going to be relied upon heavily because it is really your top line by a decent margin, I would say. And on the other side, you know, we looked at that Rowan lineup, and it's all about that Taylorico line and how much they can drive the profs on the offensive end.
It is, yeah, and you're right. Nick Shook being the leading goal scorer for this Ice Pack team, able to stay here in the States. You also didn't lose too many top defensemen. Kay Cox still here for the Ice Pack, their leading point scorer in terms of defensive men. And you're going against goalie AJ Coelho tonight for Rowan with a 4-6 record, an 89% save percentage on the night. I think NC State should try to hammer a lot of shots on him tonight. Just let it loose, let it rip. You never know what might happen when you put the puck on the net.
Well, both teams getting set to take the ice to start this one. So let's get started on the new year. When we come back, NC State and Rowan drop the puck.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen, so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena here in North Carolina as NC State gets set to open up their second semester of play. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you. And Nick, the semester hasn't started yet, so a lot of students not back, but still a good crowd on hand.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised how many people came in and packed the barn tonight. Really good crowd for classes started on Monday, not everybody back yet, so really good turnout. Not a lot of students, as you may think, but good to see the crowd come out and support the team.
All right, well, they're announcing starting lineups right now for the Rowan Profs. They'll start that Taylorico line. Ryan Taylorico with Carter Jones and Daniel Duffy. On the back end, it'll be Dylan Casey and David Cutler with, as mentioned, AJ Colella in the nets. NC State's top line of Herman, Kaufman, and Shook will start for the Ice Pack with Andrew Thronson and Nick Labrizzi on the back end defensively, and mentioned as well earlier that Addison Lawrence will be in the net for NC State. Ice Pack in red, in the white uniforms. Rowan, we're going to throw it down to the ice for the national anthem. Clean sheet of ice, fresh bodies, and a new year. We're ready to play some hockey here at Invisalign Arena. Nick, as we get set for this one, I would expect, especially on the NC State side, we talked about the fact that you've got some guys in the lineup who haven't seen quite as much time. Expect to see a lot of energy early.
Yeah, I expect to see that, especially with those people, or excuse me, those players who haven't seen a lot of ice time this season so far. Expect them to come out firing on all cylinders. And also, haven't been playing a game since late November. Expect everybody, really both sides of the ice, to come out firing on all cylinders with a lot of energy in the tank.
And one thing we didn't highlight as necessarily a key to the game tonight, but something that will be important early on, I think, is capitalizing on mistakes and limiting mistakes. Because even if you take the players that NC State's missing out of it, like you said, it's been a month since they played a hockey game. It takes some time to get back up to speed and kind of recalibrate. So there are going to be some miscues early, and we'll see if either team can take advantage. Off the face-off, NC State controls and sweeps it deep. Back behind the Rowan net, first one to it is Herman. Loose there on the side of the net. Colella chips it into the corner. NC State will maintain control. Thronson, one-timer, hits shins on the way through. Deflected just wide on the shot from the far point by Labrizzi. NC State with a chance there early. Rowan going to move it out quickly. It's Taylor Rico. He'll be squeezed off along the boards by NC State's Thronson. First one there is Labrizzi, and he'll be ridden into the far wall. Good forecheck there from Rowan. They'll pin it to that far wall. Labrizzi still there for NC State. Thronson in to help. It squirts loose, and the Profs have it. Pass in the middle, fanned on by Taylor Rico. His second effort is stolen away in the high slot, and now Nick Shook will lug it out. He's got a man pestering him the whole way. That's Duffy. Drags it through Cutler's legs, and now Shook will send it deep as he's given his teammates some time for a change. Emery Oliver in on the forecheck now. Swept up the near wall. Pinching Cade Cox holds the line for the moment, but the Profs clear it out. It hit a stick, so no icing.
And we mentioned the energy early on. Nick Shook flying down the ice, able to prolong that line change for the Ice Pack. Really good work by him.
A little over a minute gone in this first period. NC State in control on their own end. Backhanded up the wall. Chipped along by Brenner. He finds Oliver, who goes rink wide for Williams. Haven't seen a lot of Williams here this season. He'll leave it there for Brenner, who fans on the shot. And NC State trying to regain possession. Pinching McConaughey can't hold the zone. Will be knocked back out to the blue line. Cox has it for NC State. Bodied off the puck by Thomas. Ice Pack come away with it, though. It's Brenner backhanding it back to the NC State defense. Daniel chips it through the middle. Brenner goes skate to stick. Top of the far circle. It's knocked wide by Colella. Didn't totally seem to have control of that rebound, though. NC State, good pressure here early. Scherf sends it deep. Profs will reverse it back the other way again. Looking through the middle. Scherf steals it away. Chipping it along, looking for Jagelski. As misplayed at the defense by Knoll of Rowan. NC State will gain the zone, having trouble settling it down though. Behind the net, Cam Lohr. He'll settle down a bouncing puck. Wraps it around the wall for Daniel. He'll hold on to it along the hash's far side. Shields it to the wall as he's bodied up there by Frateroli. NC State comes away with it though. It's Daniel looking to the middle. No options there, so he'll just hold it in the corner. In to help is Lohr. Chips it around to the far side. Pinching in for NC State is Zach Jackson Cowan, who sweeps it behind the goal. Cowan again. He finds Lohr once more. A little bit of a bad touch. Clearance, though, held in by Jagelski. He'll fire away and rips one just wide. Scherf throws it towards the net. That shot's blocked. Now Cowan slaps at one. It deflects through traffic into the near corner. Good forecheck here from NC State as they've held the zone for a good 45 seconds to a minute. They need a change, though, now, and that will provide some relief for Rowan, but not a whole lot. Now Jack Strong. And a battle along the red line. NC State wins. That comes away with it. It'll be chipped off the stick of Todd. .24 left in this first period, and Nick, I think NC State off to a really strong start here.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chris, they have a lot more energy than Rowan does, I think, and they're doing a really good job keeping the puck on the offensive end. It's kind of reminding me of that Texas A&M game, mainly in that first game that we saw where they just kind of kept hammering it home inside the blue line, keeping Rowan on the defense, and got a couple of great line changes while they kept the pressure on. We're still getting shots off, and I think that might be a big story as the game goes on, is can NC State keep sustaining offensive pressure, because sooner or later that gate's going to be open for a goal.
Profs control off the draw. Quick snapper from the slot by Scott is wide. NC State comes away with a loose puck, and they'll skate it out. That's Spencer Harmon, who's dispossessed from behind. Rowan takes control. Big hit from Strong to knock his man off the puck, but the Profs have support, and they'll move it up. 26, Connor Milliken trying to drag his way in and can't. Now it's Herman for NC State. He's got speed to the net. He scores right through the legs of Colella, and NC State strikes first.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, I don't think Kerman gets this goal if Jack Strong doesn't make a really good breakout pass back in his own end. He kind of put it in between his legs going back to Zach Herman, and the sophomore just used his speed to go down the ice, add to the team lead in points scored with 24, his 10th goal of the year. One on none, like we mentioned, you keep sustaining offensive pressure, the floodgates are going to open, and a great start for the Ice Pack.
Now another chance. Here's Kaufman walking in. Can't get a good shot away. It was defended nicely, as I believe it was Riley Rudolph who caught an edge and fell at the Profs' blue line. Great chance there for NC State. Herman, the goal scorer, will try to poke it deep. Denied there, though, by Rudolph. And Rowan moves it out to neutral ice. Jones loses it in his skates. NC State pokes it back in. And a little bit of an early whistle. Shook, though, I think, made a play on the puck while he was still in an offside position. So the face-off comes out to the top of the blue line.
Well, that was almost disastrous for Rowan right there. Off the face-off, almost allowed another goal to go down 2-0. Really good recovery there by the defense. But if you're Rowan, you've got to start finding ways to break out of this forecheck for NC State. Even then, NC State's just able to take it to the corner, win the puck back. If I'm Rowan right now, I'm looking to try to just sustain some offensive zone time, and a good dump and chuck is a good way to do that.
Rudolph has it at the red line for Rowan. He'll throw it off the glass and back behind. Addison Lawrence settles it for NC State. McConaughey hands it off to Oliver. His pass through the middle, stolen away at the blue line, and it'll be walked right back in by Daniel Duffy. Rowan still looking to sustain some zone time and possession on the offensive end. NC State back out with it. Brenner to the middle for Oliver. Back to the far side. Cox has to take it off the wall. His slap pass is fanned on, but he gets back to the loose puck. High slot will take the shot, and a sprawling Rudolph got a stick to it and deflected it over the netting.
Well, the aggressiveness from Cade Cox nearly pays off there. Able to keep the puck down low, skates a little in, and then puck kind of squirts right back out to him, Chris, at the top of the red circle. Able to take it right into the slot. Got deflected on the way there. He I think he feels like he could have put better placement on that, but when you're in the slot and a good shot like that early on, you got to be pretty proud of yourself.
Scott Daniel on the draw for NC State up against Jacob McDonald. Ice Pack win the draw. Backhander from Jagelski is steered wide. Rowan will look to break out. Breakout pass denied nicely by Daniel. He's got it top of the circle. Turning shot, padded away initially by Colella. Still loose on the side of the net. NC State finds it behind the goal. Lohr hit up high, knocked off the puck, and now a hit from behind is going to draw the first penalty of the game. As once again it's Lohr in the corner who got knocked down from behind. So the first power play of the game will go to NC State.
Yeah, it's going to be on Jacob McDonald for the Profs, and quick early power play for the Ice Pack. Just not a good start right now for Rowan. They've got to figure some things out, I think, on the defensive end that turns into the offensive end, because right now, really, if they're able to just sustain time of possession with the puck, I think that might solve some of their problems. But now going down a man, 5-on-4 penalty kill early on in this game, if you're the Ice Pack, you're looking to take a quick 2-0 lead in this one.
They win the draw. Labrizzi across for Shook. He'll fire one at the net that whistles high. NC State holds the zone. Near corner, Herman. Back up top for Labrizzi. He'll walk the line. Slides it over to Shook. Back across for Herman. He'll walk into a shot. Pad save made by Colella. It'll be knocked into the corner, but NC State pinching in holds the zone. Herman forces his way behind the goal. He'll be knocked down behind the net. Has some support though. Centering pass from Kaufman. Misses the stick of Thronson. NC State continuing to work on the power play. Shot coming from Shook. That one blocked in traffic. NC State still in control. Herman can't get to it in the near corner. Knoll backhands it up the wall. Labrizzi holds the line. Across to Shook again. Trying a cute little pass to the middle. Deflected away from Kaufman. Thronson will track it down. Down low for Herman. Looking it over. Back for Thronson. The one-timer rises over the net. Shook holds it at the blue line, though. Kaufman now on the hash's far side. Backhand up to the point, Labrizzi. He'll fake the shot, sends it to Shook. He'll slide one wide on the near post. NC State back in control, Labrizzi. Shook steps around his defender. Looks across for Kaufman, pass in his skates. He'll reset. Now Shook high slot, throws one at the goal. Another pad save made, and again on the rebound by Colella as he stopped Herman on the second chance. Thronson just about lost it out of the zone. He'll throw it deep. NC State has had it in the zone for the entire power play so far. About a minute and a half into it, too. Shook, one-timer on a loose puck in front, and a big save off the mask of Colella. Looks like it may have knocked a strap loose there, I think, and we'll get a stoppage for the goaltender to fix things up.
Well, that's a really big break right now for Rowan. We don't know how much time is on the penalty kill. It's not up in the arena right now. We'll let you know when the penalty is off, but I mentioned right before the power play started for the Ice Pack, Rowan needs to find a way just to get time of possession with the puck. And the entire penalty kill right now, they haven't even had possession of the puck. This will be really their massive break for them right now, able to get this little timeout right here with the fixing of the mask. But if you're Rowan, you've got to find something, maybe be a little more aggressive, because Thronson's had a lot of great open looks. The Ice Pack never made a line change during that entire onslaught of shots going in on Colella. Give credit to Colella, though. He's made a lot of great saves, but right now, if you're Rowan, you just want to get the puck down, clear, and kind of kill the rest of this power play off.
Well, if you're NC State, you've only got about 21 seconds left on the man advantage, as the faceoff will be won by the Profs penalty kill, and they'll clear it all the way down. That'll likely finish it off. 12:16 is when McDonald will come out of the box, so we're down under 15 seconds left. And it looks like NC State will go 0 for 1 on the power play here to start.
A really good goaltending there by AJ Colella. Nick Shook had a great chance right in front of the net, kind of just turned on one. Colella was still in position, made a great save, made a couple of other great saves, especially with the right pad of his.
NC State trying to break in, denied at the blue line. McConaughey, though, will sweep it deep. Cam Lauren on the forecheck forces the puck back behind, and now some space for Rowan to move it out. That's David Cutler. Over to the far side, his pass for McDonald misses his outstretched stick. NC State can reverse it back the other way. Daniel has it stripped, but looks like McDonald played it off sides, and the face-off comes out on top of the NC State blue line.
You're Rowan, you want to win this face-off right here, like I mentioned, just to get something going offensively. No shots on goal for Rowan. They had a good chance early on in the game right in front of the net, good scoring opportunity, but since then it's been bone dry out in front of the net. Addison Lawrence kind of just watching everything happen on the other end.
Oh, and he's seen the puck around him a bit, but according to the scoreboard, at least at the moment, no shots on goal for Rowan yet. We're about 8.5 minutes in now. NC State with 7, and they'll look to advance. Moving in, Cade Cox. He has some help in the middle, but a diving play made by the defenseman Dylan Casey to deny that pass. NC State maintains possession. Cox behind the net, sidesteps a check, and pushes it into the near corner for Strong. He'll send it up the wall. Zangar, strips it away. I think we have looks like the puck hit a player on the Rowan bench, or at least that's what the officials saw. The Rowan players don't agree, but the faceoff will come back into the Profs' end here.
Well, the second great play of the night there by Jack Strong, kind of just able to poke the puck down the ice, almost poke-checked it away from his own teammate, but it set up a really good scoring opportunity in front of the net. He has the assist on the earlier goal tonight with a very nice pass. This is Strong's only 9th game of the season for the freshman. He's made a very, very strong name for himself tonight.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. I realized that as I said it.
NC State ties it up in the far corner. Nice move there, looking to the middle. Wraparound try there from Strong. Can't get it to go. NC State keeping the pressure on. Scherf receives the D-to-D pass. His wrist shot blocked on the way in, and the loose puck will be covered up by Colella.
Oh, another good chance there by Jack Strong. Right in front of them. Try to go with a good wraparound. Couldn't quite get it home. Colella starting to lock in a little bit. Made a couple of nice big saves in a row. That might be a big story as we move on in this game. Just 9 minutes played here in this first period, but I think Colella is starting to get in a little bit of a groove. If you're NC State, you've got a lot of high-scoring opportunities. Maybe try to look somewhere else, maybe get a deflection in front, and that might be the key to getting past them.
Rowan wins the draw. They'll clear it to neutral ice. Scherf in control for NC State. His pass intercepted. And Milliken trying to break in for the Profs. Has it poked away and out. NC State regrouping in their own end. Good pressure there at the blue line by Rowan's Josh Bianchi. And now the puck will deflect off a stick and out of play. Face-off going to stay in the NC State zone here.
I don't think Emery Oliver was expecting that puck to go on that side of him, and it kind of just went up his stick and went right out into the NC State bench. If you're Rowan, though, really big face-off right here. If you win it, I think you got to try to set up some offensive pressure. Just keep possession of the puck. Look for a scoring chance. Right now, you still got a big old goose egg on the scoreboard right now in terms of shots. Maybe rip one off of it. I wouldn't say right off face-off, but win the face-off, set something up, and get a quick shot.
Face-off to the glove side of Addison Lawrence. Squirts loose into the slot, still looking for possession. Rowan holds the zone. Tillerico takes the shot from the top of the far circle. That one whistled wide. And they'll battle for it along the half wall. Ice Pack come away with it. It'll be chipped through the neutral zone by Brenner, trying to track it down. Hacking and whacking at Frederoli. The Profs maintain control. Breakout pass up the far side, held by a pinching Thronson of NC State. Trying to force it down low. It's poked to the middle and collected there by Evan Knoll. He'll turn it over. Loose in front. Couple tries didn't go for the Ice Pack. Brenner trying to track down the rebound. He'll get some help from Oliver, but Ice Pack can't control. Knoll going rink wide, taken by Carr off the wall. He'll absorb a hit as the centering pass stolen away by Thronson. He'll walk in, takes the shot, blocked in front again. Rowan has blocked a lot of shots here early on in this hockey game. 9.5 minutes left in the first period. NC State with a 1-goal lead off the back of the goal from Zach Herman, who's on the ice right now. Profs clear it down, but it's slow enough to negate the icing call. McConaughey slaps it up the far wall. Herman gets a touch to it to negate icing, but the Profs going to gain control at their defense. For Rowan, it's Dylan Casey. He'll go rink wide. Back into the middle, here's Jones. Takes the shot, that hit a body on the way through. Rebound comes out, and again, Rowan misses the net. NC State a little bit more trouble breaking out here as this period is worn on. But they've done a pretty good job of not allowing control for Rowan in the offensive end. Cade Cox has it for NC State. Off the wall for Kaufman. He'll send it across, Shook, across to Kaufman, looking to the middle for Herman. Deflected away, and Shook gets to it on the far wall. Receives a chip pass from Herman. Walks in front, backhand try, save, rebound, and the second one goes. It took 3 shots, but eventually Holden Kaufman puts it home, and NC State leads 2-0.
Nick Shook just comes in and dekes and daggles right in front. A lot of credit there to A.J. Colella, staying with him the entire time, but when Holden Kaufman comes flying in and he's got about maybe 10 inches of ice in between him and the back of the net, it's going to be very hard to stop that one. And I was going to go back to that power play, Chris. You mentioned taking control of this game. I think if NC State wanted to get in the driver's seat of this game, you would have scored on that power play. But getting a second one right here does wonders, especially the way you've been playing this game right now, not allowing a shot on goal. There's been shots for Rowan, but no shots on goal, and I think that does wonders to them in terms of momentum and keeping control of this game.
One thing Rowan has done well in the first 12 minutes of this game is perform in the face-off circle. They've won 8, by my count, 8 of 12 draws here in the first period. And they won the center ice draw to restart play, but it's NC State advancing it back out. Daniel trying to walk through the defense, has it knocked off his stick and into the near corner. Jagelski trying to close it off on the wall and can't as Zangara carries it out. Zangara for the Profs takes the first shot of the game. It took 12 minutes and 16 seconds. It's right into the breadbasket of Addison Lawrence for an easy save.
Yeah, if you're a Rowan, you look at the scoreboard, you see that one up there right now in the shot column. You're like, all right, we've got a shot on goal, even if it was just a simple dump in, but we've got an offensive zone face-off. We've been dominating the face-off circle. The problem is, can we maintain puck possession after we win it?
Face-off, right back to the defense, and the shot glove down. Nice try there from Jacob Holland, but Lawrence up to the task.
Yeah, down 2-0, starting to see Rowan kind of just let it rip on net a little bit since they had 0 shots on goal. Had possession there, decided to let it rip right away. But again, a face-off won by Rowan. They can't keep puck possession.
NC State clears it the length of the ice, weak enough to avoid the icing call. And now Rowan sends it around the wall and out. A little bit too strong of a pass there from Riley Rudolph. NC State will regroup in their own end. Up the near wall, pass to the middle from Harmon is intercepted. And it'll get clogged up in front of the NC State bench. Chipped along by Todd. He'll knock it off the stick of Billiken and into the Rowan end. Swept back out by the Profs defense. Cowan sends it deep for NC State, but he throws it right up and out of play. And we'll get a stoppage and a neutral zone faceoff.
Well, coming up on the final 7 minutes of this opening period for the Ice Pack. We're talking about Rowan a lot the past couple of minutes. That second goal, haven't really had a lot of offensive zone time. Bit of a wake-up call for Rowan, but you get a face-off, and Rowan's side of the neutral zone, able to win it and dump it in. This line for NC State, especially with Jack Strong right now, they've done a really good job tonight keeping offensive pressure and getting down the ice, and they're trying to keep possession here.
Here's Harmon for NC State holding the blue line. They'll glide down into the corner, looking to the middle. They score! Todd puts it home. Might have just floated past the glove of Colella, and NC State starting to pour it on 3-0.
Oh, I'm just mentioning this line's done very well tonight for the Ice Pack, and it looked like it hit the stick of Evan Knoll, the defenseman for Rowan, and it kind of just hung up right in front of Logan Todd, an easy one to put in. It's going to be his first point of the year, according to my stats. 8 games played up until this one, had no goals, no assists. So nice to get on the board for Logan Todd.
NC State controls the draw to restart play. It'll be the Profs taking it away and sending it deep. Cowan first to it far corner. Chops it up the wall for Brenner, who retreats back to Cowan. He'll toss it up the glass again, held in at the blue line, and deflected down by Holland. High slot chance for Zangara, can't get it to the net. Brenner finds the loose puck far side, looking to the middle on the breakout. That's stolen away by Bianchi. But NC State able to get it back and out in the neutral ice. Williams centering pass denied. Here comes Bianchi for Rowan. Trying to use the defenseman as a screen. Nice block there by Thronson. And Bianchi will track it down in the far corner and backhand it around the wall. NC State furthers it along trying to clear, but Casey holds the zone. His shot deflected through traffic. Loose in front, pad save made by Lawrence, and it'll be deflected into the near corner. Emery Oliver first to it, trying to chip it up and out, but can't. Rowan, good pressure. Miscommunication, though, as Bianchi headed off for a change. And now NC State can clear the zone momentarily. Skated right back in by David Cutler, trying to split the defense. He'll chip it deep and chase it down. Saucered into the far corner. Labrizzi shoots it right back up the ice, and now NC State with a chance in transition. It's Shook and Kaufman. Kaufman can't quite get to the pass on the near side post, but he'll send it back to the blue line for a one-timer, and Colella makes the save on Herman. And he'll melt it down for a face-off with 5:18 to go.
All the play and passing down the ice, a little give and go from Nick Shook and holding Kaufman, and Shook's pass to Kaufman just a little bit up. Kaufman's able to get that puck. I think if he just elevates it just a little bit, it's 4-0 Ice Pack. And couldn't quite get it there, but you got the offensive zone face-off up 3-0. If you're able to get a fourth goal, and you're taking big control of this game, which is just impressive considering all the factors going into this one with Tim Healy missing, as well as 5 of your top players.
NC State initially won the face-off, but a blocked shot sends it out of the zone. State will bring it back the other way again, though. Kaufman has Shook with him once more, and a beautiful defensive play made on the poke check by Riley Rudolph to deny that centering pass, but NC State still in control. A pinching Labrizzi takes the shot from the high slot, hit a man on the way through, and never got to the net. Labrizzi hacks it back behind the goal now. First to it, Rudolph. He'll be shut down there by Shook. Herman steps out from behind the net and finds Labrizzi again. He'll fire away. Blocker down on the near post by Colella, and he'll hold on for another draw.
I'll tell you what, Colella has faced 13 shots on goal right now tonight, and I mean, 3 have gone by him, but I mean, for the job given from Colella, he's done a fantastic job in net tonight. I mean, he's seen a lot of shots, like we mentioned, but he's seen a lot of great, high-quality shots, and the fact that he saved 10 of them so far, I think, got to give credit to him. Even though it says 3 by him on the scoreboard, he's done a really good job in net tonight.
Yeah, Rowan wins the draw. Milliken deflects it out past the blue line, and they'll look to move it forward. Chipped deep by Aiden Plank. Behind the net, NC State will push it up the wall. At the blue line, it's held in at the moment by number 44, Dante Ardite. NC State back in control. Cade Cox gains the blue line and rolls it down behind the goal. First one there, Ardite slaps it back up that far side. Milliken looking to the middle, able to find Bianchi to break it out. Now Carr moving it forward. Justin Carr's shot. Looks like Rowan, though, was offsides before he took it. And the faceoff will come out in the neutral ice again.
Final 4 minutes here of this opening period. And if you're Rowan, still trying to get offensive zone time, you're starting to develop it a little bit, but you're starting to make a lot of mistakes passing department right there and offsides. And we mentioned the pregame for the Ice Pack. One of the keys to success tonight was limit the mistakes, especially missing those guys that are in Europe right now. And really, it's been Rowan that's been making the mistakes.
They got a good chance in front. Lawrence doesn't know where it is. He scrambles and covers it up, but Rowan with perhaps their best chance of the night so far, and Lawrence able to find it underneath himself.
Yeah, if you're Rowan, you're going to be really happy with that chance. Addison Lawrence, first real test of the night, able to kind of just sit on the puck, kind of freeze it and play. But if you're Rowan, you've got to look at that chance and say, all right, we're starting to show, hey, we've got some offensive firepower here. We've got another offensive zone face-off. Let's start sustaining this. Let's start developing a lot of shots in a row, get some high-quality looks. One of them is bound to go in if you keep doing that. Lawrence's first test of the night, he stood up to that task.
They'll look to win the offensive zone draw here, will the Profs of Rowan University. Number 12, Mike Frateroli, up against NC State's Spencer Harmon. It'll be tied up. Rowan comes away with it. Off-angle shot, bodied down by Lawrence. NC State looking to break it out now. Stalled out at the top of the circle, far side. Regrouping, Jack Strong skates it out of the zone, but he's quickly dispossessed. Evan Knoll in control for Rowan. He'll retreat behind his own net. Throws it off the far wall, intended for Frateroli. Held in momentarily by McConaughey, but NC State at the red line will bring it back in, and another penalty coming up on the Profs. This time it's going to be Knoll. Hip check maybe a little bit late and a little bit low on Spencer Harmon, who's shaking out that left leg a little bit. That can be, you can see why that call was made. The contact kind of came at the knee. So it's a little bit of a dangerous hit. I don't think it was late enough for that to be the reason it was called. They're going to call kneeing, it looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say, from here, it looked like it was good timing, actually, there from Evan Knoll. The problem was the hip check was a little high, and especially given the reaction kind of going over the top, it's going to draw that penalty. Final 3:10 for the Ice Pack, another power play. They did so well on it last time, looking to repeat that success.
Thronson walks in, top of the near circle, takes a shot that's blockered into the netting behind by Kallela. So a good chance there from NC State. 1:53 left on the man advantage, 3:02 left in the period. So a good chunk of this last bit of the first is going to be man up for NC State. Labrizzi, D-to-D with Shook. He'll fire away. Pad save made by Kallela. NC State still in control. Thronson back for Labrizzi, who skates the line. Slides it over to Herman, top of the near circle. Rink wide for Shook. He'll retreat to the blue line with it. Down low for Holden Kaufman, who brings it back up top. Labrizzi now to Herman. Looking to the middle. Good interception there, but it's not cleared by Carter Jones. Labrizzi again to Shook. Another shot, another save made by Kallela. The rebound blocked by a sprawling Casey. NC State keeping the pressure on behind the net. Now it's Shook, sweeping it up top for Thronson. Just over a minute left on the man advantage for NC State. Now it's Herman lurking. Leaves it for Labrizzi. Back to Herman for the one-timer. He scores! It hit a stick on the way through, but Herman will get his second, and NC State leads 4-0.
Well, once again, NC State just kind of dominating the zone offensively. Thought that was a really good look there by Thronson. He's had a lot of them tonight, just a little late getting there. But watch them work it back to the top. Thronson gave it up, looked for Nick Labrizzi, that worked it back down low. I think that was Nick Shook on that red circle. And then he sent it back to the slot for Holden Kaufman up top from the point to hammer it home, make it 4-0 Ice Pack. They've had a lot of good chances on the power play, saw in the first one tonight, where they're able to just kind of find their way into the slot and rip a couple of good shots. And finally, one of them right in front on the power play goes for NC State. A 4-0 first period for the Ice Pack, and they're looking to add more to it.
Emery Oliver shoots it deep for the Ice Pack. They'll go right back to work. Centering pass from Brenner. Missed his intended target, Chase Williams, and now the Profs will break out. Pass across for Zingara. Leaves it high slot. Shot coming from Holland. Big pad save made by Lawrence, and he's going to jump on the rebound. That was swept back out in front. So Lawrence, I think, Nick, that's another thing to kind of highlight here. We haven't talked too much about Addison Lawrence. Starting to see much more shots. He didn't see his first shot until about 8 minutes in, but he's seen a lot more since then, and he's been on his toes all night so far.
Yeah, 7 shots on goal since that first shot. So really, the past 6 minutes, he's seen 7 shots, but Lawrence starting to get his chances. I think that's his second big save that we saw. The first one being the one there he froze the puck by sitting on it. I think this one was another good opportunity by Rowan. You're starting to see them build up some more offensive firepower. Down 4-0. You're going to need something to spark you, though, offensively, I think, for Rowan before NC State starts making it a runaway.
NC State controls off the defensive zone draw, unable to clear as Rowan holds his own. Slot shot coming, deflected in front, and it's knocked away by Noah Sheriff. Great play by the defenseman on the near post. Rowan getting some pressure here late in this first period. 90 seconds left here in the first 20 minutes. It's pinned up against the wall near side. A 4-man scrum there will waste some time. Rowan comes away with a quick shot there from Scott, deflected up and over top. First one to it, Cowan far corner, gets it out, and a loose puck skittering into the Rowan zone. Chasing it down for NC State is Williams. He'll slide it back behind the net, picked up there by Brenner. He'll be bodied off the puck, and it's pushed up the wall on the near side by Rowan. That's Scott again. He'll skate it out. Gets to the red line, sends it deep, and it hits someone on the NC State bench, which will stop play, and now they're getting into it on the bench. Bianchi and Scott over there for Rowan in front of the NC State bench, and I didn't see exactly what happened that led to that. It's a little bit out of our viewpoint up top here, but we'll see what happens from a disciplinary standpoint. It might not be anything here, but the officials are going to have to stay on top of that, because it's the kind of seed that gets planted that grows into a bigger issue later in the game. So we'll see what comes of it. Nothing's going to come of it immediately, but we'll keep an eye on the tempers as we get into the second period.
Yeah, I think if you're the refs, that's kind of a warning to both teams. They're like, all right, this is our first instigation of the night. Let's keep it in check. I'll give you guys a warning right here. Let's not let the tempers overflow. Let's play a clean game of hockey. I think the refs did a good job not doing anything there in terms of giving out any penalties. Didn't seem like there was anything, just some after the play extracurriculars.
Evan Knoll in control for Rowan. Zips a pass to the near side red line for Zangara, who chips it deep. 40 seconds left here in the first. Puck loose in the far corner. Lohr steers it up the wall for Daniel. He'll push it to the middle, trying to connect there with Jagelski, but can't. And the Rowan offense sends it deep. That's Thomas chasing after it as McConaughey for NC State absorbs a hit and pushes it up that far wall. Daniel again. He'll leave it for Jagelski. Crossing the blue line, he'll cut to the near side and chip it down into the corner. First one there is NC State's Cam Lohr. Has trouble collecting the puck, and Knoll will send it around the wall for the props. Knocked off the puck by Labrizzi with 10 seconds to go. NC State holds the zone. Cade Cox pitchforks it in deep. Evan Knoll to it, and he's going to skate out the rest of the clock. But a dominant first period for NC State. Nick, a 4-0 lead for the Ice Pack.
Yeah, and it really started from that early play that we saw. They just kind of had a lot of offensive zone time, got a lot of shots on goal. It took a while for that second one to come, but once the floodgates open, boy, did they open up. A 4-goal explosion for the Ice Pack to open things up in the first period. Don't really have a stat for it, but I believe that's got to be up there with the most goals NC State started out in the first period with. We've seen a lot of slow starts with them this year. Not having head coach Tim Healy, not having 5 of your best players tonight. You will definitely take a 4-goal start. Really impressive to see that tonight. And another big thing that we saw from the Ice Pack that we mentioned pregame, no penalties. They don't really have an extra person that they can have go and ready tomorrow. Everybody that is available is dressed tonight. So going into the intermission up 4-0 is really big.
So NC State will head to the locker room and talk things over. We'll take a break here and come back with the first intermission. After 20 minutes, NC State 4, Rowan 0.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go, from ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen, so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
It was a big first period for the NC State Ice Pack, a 4-0 lead over the Rowan Profs after 20 minutes. Chris Lehman, Nick Prozzi with you here at the first intermission. And Nick, for a team that's missing 5 really kind of key players from their lineup tonight, as well as their head coach, they're looking pretty darn good.
Yeah, they are. 4-goal lead, missing all of those people that you mentioned is very impressive. And I think what's even more impressive is the players that are kind of filling in for those empty spaces. They have been phenomenal tonight. We saw Jack Strong make a couple of very nice plays, got an assist. Logan Todd with his first goal of the season. So a lot of those names that are fighting for a lot more playing time are definitely making their name known tonight and playing really hard.
Well, and another thing to look at is in net. We mentioned it throughout the first period. Addison Lawrence really didn't see much for the first 8 to 8.5 minutes, which is how long it took for him to see his first shot on goal. And then he ended up seeing about 8 or 9, stopped them all. So that's always something that can be challenging for a goaltender, I think, particularly when you warm up and then go out there and kind of get cold waiting for your first shot. But he didn't look like he was cold after waiting around for about 8 minutes before he saw his first bit of action.
Yeah, and Rowan likes to kind of keep the puck loose in front of the net. They like to try to poke at it, try to get it through an empty crevice. And really the last chance Rowan had, that was a shot on goal. Noah Scherf made a fantastic play, just kind of fanning it away. Otherwise, Rowan will have a goal on the board right now. Instead, it turns to the other end, and then that play ended with the extracurriculars. Otherwise, we would have been talking about it a lot more than what we did. But you mentioned Addison Lawrence in net. It's been a while since he saw a shot on goal, and you mentioned it took 12 minutes for it to happen. So staying in there, staying composed is something you really like to see. On the other end with Coelho, I think he's done a good job tonight. He's just facing an onslaught of high-quality shots, and after a while, you just can't stop them all.
Yeah, the last thing I want to hit on before we take a quick break is the special teams for NC State. As you mentioned, good discipline. They did not take any penalties that period, but they had 2 power plays, and they scored on one of them. So special teams being one of the things we wanted to keep an eye on tonight. Good to see them 1 for 2 after 20 minutes.
Yeah, and when you look at the 4 minutes that they've been on the power play, I think the puck has left the offensive zone once, and it was at the very end of the first power play after we had a stoppage for a broken strap. So the fact that NC State is just dominating the power play end, I think that's something that you could really look on and try to lean on going into this next period. So a little bit of the chippiness starting to play into effect at the end of this one, so maybe getting underneath Rowan's skin, that might be a big cause for an even bigger goal explosion for the next 2 periods.
Well, NC State a commanding 4-goal lead after 20 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got Logan Todd, who picked up his first goal of the season, joining us here at the intermission.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen, so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. Nick Perazzi here with goal scorer Logan Todd, his first goal of the season. Logan, going into this game, haven't seen a lot of ice time this year. What has kind of been the message for you specifically to get back out on the ice and get a goal when you needed to step up?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of guys. We got some top guys out in Slovenia right now. And, I mean, Coach's biggest message these past few weeks has been we need guys to step up that, maybe haven't been all year. So, we got last semester here. Boys really need to win out. Can't afford too many losses, so just doing everything I can, and my line mates, everyone else out there stepping up to really bury when we have to.
And you mentioned all the people missing right now that are out in Europe. What was kind of the message in the locker room going into this one, missing, especially head coach Tim Healy and a lot of other players? What was kind of the message going into the locker room for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, of course it hurts. We're missing some top guys, our head coach, but, we got a really talented group of guys, and a lot of depth, so we know what we have. We just have to go out there and play like we know we have it, and if we do that, we'll be fine. So we're definitely missing the guys, but just kind of proving here that we're a deep team, and we can pretty much compete against anyone.
And you guys have definitely shown your depth tonight. Going into this second period as well as the third period, is there any adjustments you guys need to make, or is it just all gas, no brakes going for these last 2 periods?
Yeah, it's definitely all gas, no brakes, but we just got to really stay strong. really talking about the defensive zone here, getting back and picking up a man. Not too big of a gap with guys coming into the zone. So if we just keep that rolling and get pucks out fast, and I think we'll be good here.
Well, you've played one heck of a game so far, 40 minutes left in this one. When we come back, me and Chris will kind of identify what needs to change for both teams going into the second period.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Life is for learning, from baby steps to big ideas. We plan, try, fail, and do better next time. Each day is a new experiment, a fresh chance to seek answers, connection, purpose. The mind is not a vessel to be filled. It's rocket fuel. And when you start at NC State University, you can't be stopped. NC State. Think and do.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Chris Lehman and Nick Prozzi back with you here at the first intermission. NC State with a commanding 4-0 lead after 20 minutes. And there's really, honestly, Nick, not a lot to criticize about the way that this NC State team played. Everything that we kind of hit on before the game, they've done well. 1 for 2 on the power play already. Consistency, I think, has been great. The energy level has been fantastic. And I think part of that, of course, has to do with the fact that you're fresh off of break. You've got some fresh legs. You've got some new legs that we've talked about are out there trying to earn a little bit of extra playing time when the full roster is back after this all-star trip. But there's really not a lot to say that they haven't done well. From a discipline standpoint, you mentioned, there was a little bit of a shoving match right there in front of the NC State bench late. NC State avoided going to the penalty box. Both teams did, in fairness, but NC State, that's kind of the place where sometimes they give that little extra shove and end up in the penalty box, and they did not do that tonight.
No, they didn't. No penalties that first period. Going into the second one, obviously we saw the chippiness go up. When I talked to Logan Todd, that past intermission, I kind of mentioned, you guys all gas, no breaks the rest of the game. He said all gas, no breaks. We're going to be coming out firing, looking for more goals, kind of opening up the lead as well. Because you never know when it comes to hockey. A 4-0 lead, that could quickly turn into a 4-2 lead, and suddenly Rowan's got all the momentum looking to come back in this game. There's a lot of time left in this game, 40 minutes left. So going into this period, I think NC State maybe use some fine-tuning in some areas, but like you mentioned, there's just not really much to criticize for them as there is for Rowan. I think for them, they just need to sustain offensive zone time, but we kind of saw at the end of the period, they had a lot of high-quality shots in front of the net, made Lawrence move around and make some big saves.
Yeah, another thing I think worth highlighting so far is the depth that NC State has shown in this game alone. They only played 20 minutes, so there's still plenty of time for things to change. But we talked about in that pregame how we felt like the top line was really going to kind of be relied on. And they did score 2 goals. Zach Herman picked up a pair for NC State. But you're seeing the bottom 6 really be a contributing factor in this game as well. You mentioned the line of Jack Strong out there with, I believe, Jagelski, as well as the goal scorer Logan Todd that we just talked to. So to have the production up and down the lineup as they've had through this first period is also going to alleviate some of that pressure of the missing players as well.
Yeah, and those players that are trying to getting that first playing chance in a while, like you mentioned, Logan Todd, Jagelski, Scherf even. They've made a lot of big plays tonight. Jack Strong as well, like I've mentioned tonight. They are definitely making their names known, that they are going to fight for some more playing time as the season goes on, and that is just something NC State would love to have, more competition on the team, because competition is what makes you better. And going into the rest of the season, looking at tonight, obviously there's still 40 minutes left and another game tomorrow, but the way that these bottom 6 guys have played tonight, you've got to be really proud of.
Absolutely. As we head into the second period, kind of talk a little bit here about what you expect to see out of these two teams coming out of the break. And I think one thing you mentioned, and a lot of it has to do with the way that NC State has played and the way that they've stepped up at their blue line, but they've done an excellent job of preventing Rowan from getting into the zone, getting deep into the zone, and maintaining possession. We really have not seen a lot of attack time for Rowan, even when they had periods where for 45 seconds or so they kept the puck in the zone, but they didn't really have full control of it. And so that's going to be a key, I think, for Rowan, is finding a way to get into the zone, whether it be a chip and chase mentality or something else. They're going to have to find a way to get past the blue line and get possession deep against NC State.
Yeah, and another thing Rowan I think needs to work on, which is one of their main issues right now, is they're winning the face-off department pretty handedly. Like you mentioned, at one point they won 8 of 12. The problem is, out of all the faceoffs they won, they've maybe been 2 or 3 where they've actually kept puck possession. NC State's done a fantastic job applying pressure, tying up the faceoff, getting bodies in front of the passing lanes to prevent them from breaking out of that faceoff circle. So if you're going into this next period, you're going to have to find a breaker for that forecheck NC State has, and you also got to find a way to kind of keep possession after you win that faceoff. As for NC State, I think you may want to look into kind of addressing how Rowan may try to break out against that forecheck of yours, maybe fine-tune it a little bit, say, hey, watch for this, and to keep that foot down all the way on the gas.
Yeah, NC State closing in on the start of the second period, but I think last key here for NC State as you move into the second period is a strong start to the period. The last thing you want is to start slow in the second and watch that 4-goal lead turn into a 3-goal lead, a 2-goal lead, maybe even a 1-goal lead early on if Rowan comes out with a big push to start. So for NC State, got to come out with that same energy that you had the entire first period.
Yeah, you definitely do, especially the way that you started this game was fantastic. One of the best starts this season, really, especially against a division opponent like Rowan. You really love to see that. And going into the second period, you want to take control of this game. Even if you don't get a goal the first 5-10 minutes of this game, if you're able to just limit Rowan, limit their offensive zone time, I think that would do wonders for you and starting to get in Rowan's head. And I think if you start to see Rowan start taking a lot more penalties, you know that once then you're in their head and you've got control of this game.
All right, well, we're closing in on the start of the second period, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with a puck drop for the second 20 minutes. Right now, it's NC State 4, Rowan nothing.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Life is for learning, from baby steps to big ideas. We plan, try, fail, and do better next time. Each day is a new experiment, a fresh chance to seek answers, connection, purpose. The mind is not a vessel to be filled. It's rocket fuel. And when you start at NC State University, you can't be stopped. The lessons learned here don't end with graduation. A great university goes far beyond campus. It allows you to see the big picture. A great university gives you tools, community, partnership, a launch pad. You don't just go to NC State University. You take us with you. We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go, from ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make, with bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Both teams headed back out onto the ice as we get set to start the second 20 minutes here at Invisalign Arena. NC State a comfortable 4-0 lead. And just a quick look at some of the stats that we have throughout the first period. NC State, of course, with the 4-goal lead. We talked about how dominant Rowan was early on in the face-off circle. NC State started to even that out late in the period, though. By my unofficial count, I've got about 12-10 face-offs favoring Rowan, so it's a little bit more even now. Shots on goal, though, NC State dominated, 15-7. It was a lot more lopsided for a good portion of the period. And then, of course, NC State with 2 power play opportunities and a goal on one of them. So statistically, NC State looking just as good elsewhere as they do in the goals category.
Yeah, they are. Whenever you can have 15 shots on goal in the period, even really the opening period as it was, it's truly a great thing to see. You know you're getting offensive zone time. You know some of those shots are going to be high quality. But when you look at the stat sheet, it doesn't show you how many high quality shots that you have. At NC State, I mean, there's been about 8, 9, maybe even 10 shots on goal that have been in the slot, maybe from the point with no bodies in front. They've been really good shots. For Rowan, they've had a lot of good shots, but I think coming into this period, they need more great shots. They had 2 great scoring opportunities right in front of the net. One of them, Noah Scherf, kind of shoveled away, and another one, Lawrence kept in front. Going into this next period, I think the key to the success for the Profs is to just get bodies in front of the net and keep the puck right in front of the net.
All right, so it'll be Herman to take the draw for NC State up against Bianchi. NC State wins that draw. On the near side, Shook. Forced backwards, he'll retreat with it. He'll try and weave through the middle, loses possession there. Takes it right back, though, from Milliken. He'll turn it back the other way. Quick shot, pad save made there by Colella. NC State behind the net has it taken away. Pinching in over on that far side. Thronson holds the zone momentarily. It'll be broken out for Milliken. He'll go one-on-one against Labrizzi, carrying it down the near left wing. Looking to the middle, throws it off the pad of Lawrence. It'll be chipped into the far corner. Bianchi rubbed out there by Thronson. Pross able to get to it first, though. Pitchforked back in by Milliken. Labrizzi there for NC State behind the goal. Pestered a little bit as he's knocked into the wall in the corner by Bianchi. On the near side, Shook absorbs a hit, trying to maintain control of the puck. He'll be knocked down, and the Profs making a change will give NC State some time to break out. Herman deflects it deep. NC State needs a change as well as we're a minute into this second period. It'll be Casey trying to force his way in. NC State, again, strong around their own blue line, not allowing Rowan much time and space to possess. McDonald now has a chance to break in. Looking to the middle, trying to connect with Zangara. That is broken up. And it trickles to the near side. Labrizzi first there for NC State. Takes a hit, backhands it back behind for Thronson. He'll move it forward for Brenner. Give and go with Oliver. Sent back across. Brenner's pass eventually finds Williams. He'll sweep it all the way around the wall into the far corner. Casey chips it along for the Profs, and they'll carry it up and out. Now with it, McDonald. He'll step into the zone. He was held up briefly as he crossed the blue line. That'll lead to an offsides call. And NC State will come out to the top of their blue line for this face-off.
Rowan's done a really good job at the start of this period, kind of getting physical, kind of winning that physical battle with the physicality with the hits. They're also playing very fast, and had a good scoring opportunity before. I think Thronson kind of pushed up a little bit because Nicholas Thomas was right in the slot with no one in between him and Lawrence. But Thronson kept that pressure, and he made it pay off, made a great play out of it.
So NC State trying to force their way in down the near side. NC State forced back out by the Rowan defense. Retreating with it now, Cutler. Looks across the ice. It'll be chipped in. And NC State's Cade Cox back for it. Looking forward to Lohr. He'll be closed off along the wall. Frateroli holds the zone. His pass intercepted by Cox. He's got space to move forward. Along the right wing, he'll slow up top of the circle. Looking to the middle for Jagelski. That one's deflected away. And the Profs skate it right back through the neutral zone. Gating the red line and sending it deep, Zangara. And now Carr will hold the blue line. He'll shovel it back behind. Noah Scherf first there for NC State. Has some space to carry it up. Elevates it through the neutral zone. But nobody there in a red jersey. Taylorica holds up, takes the shot. Fires it just wide of the near side. Puck deflects out into neutral ice where Scott Daniel comes away with it for NC State. Looking to the middle, trying to connect there with Strong. And that will be deflected away, and Taylorica with speed up the far wing. Stripped of the puck by Scherf, who clears the zone. Big hit at the blue line, and we're getting our first power play for Rowan, as I believe that penalty is going to go against Jackson Cowan. Initially, I thought that's who they were escorting to the box, but it's actually going to be Harmon. And it was the hit came a little bit late. The puck had moved away. And so NC State a little bit over-aggressive maybe on that play, and now Rowan with a chance to get themselves back in this hockey game.
Already mentioned, NC State did a good job limiting to 0 penalties that first period. And first one here, this is a really good opportunity for the Profs.
One-time shot blocked by Cowan in front. Zangara with a good chance. NC State setting up the penalty kill. Back at the blue line, Cutler can't get to the backhand pass from Zangara. It'll trickle all the way down the ice, and a free clear there for NC State.
Well, so far for NC State, able to get 20 seconds off the power play with only one decent opportunity for them. They're going to break it back out. If you're the Ice Pack, though, I think you got to keep Rowan away from the net. That's where they like to do all their traffic and all their goal scoring and a lot of their offense tonight.
Cowan with it behind the NC State net, has space to clear it out, and he'll dump it down the ice all the way to Colella. NC State trying to get a couple of fresh bodies out there on the penalty kill. That's another thing worth noting here in the second period, especially if you're trying to kill a penalty. It's difficult to make line changes with your bench on the far side of the red line from your defensive zone. Good block there by Thronson on the near side. Rudolph backhands it back down the wall. Thronson knocks it loose, cleared out of the zone, at least for the moment, by McEnany. Tied up there by Brenner. McEnany in to help, knocks it all the way down. We're down to 45 seconds on the man advantage.
Now Rowan just cannot sustain something offensively. NC State applying a lot of great pressure. Thronson blocking a shot. It's been a very good penalty kill thus far for NC State. And another great play by Thronson will clear it down. 30 seconds to go, and like we mentioned in the pregame, Alex Rossetto and Eric Mira both mentioned that they looked really good special teams-wise, and so far we've had 3 special team opportunities for the Ice Pack, and they've done very good in all of them.
They've still got about 10 seconds left to kill as the Rowan power play trying to get something going here late in the man advantage. McDonald pinned on the near wall. It's poked out to the blue line. Casey takes the shot, hit a body in front, loose on the near side, and it's kicked wide of the net. They'll scramble for it in the crease, and it's slid to the far corner where NC State can clear it all the way down. Colello, I don't think he knew the penalty was over, will come out to play it. A huge break there for NC State as they can make a couple of changes, but they do avoid the icing. McDonald now for the Profs. They've got NC State with tired bodies on the ice. They'll hold the zone again. Frateroli looking to the middle. Pass isn't there. He'll carry it behind the net. Stick handling with it. His centering try denied there. Coming over to help is NC State's Johnson, who can't clear. Now Casey carries it down the far right wall. Forced back behind the net. McDonald first to it. Frederoli, pardon me, first to it, looking for the one-timer with Duffy, who fans on it, and it's out of the zone. So NC State can start to move forward. Herman already has 2 goals, looking for another. Fires one high, save made, rebound loose, and now the mask of Colella comes off again as he collided with one of his defensemen. I believe that is Cutler. And Cutler kind of got knocked into the net there by Herman after the shot, but there was a golden opportunity for NC State to add to the lead there.
Yeah, there definitely was, and on the other end, there was really a golden opportunity for Rowan to cut into the lead. What an impressive save by Addison Lawrence, getting a full extension on the right pad. Puck was loose in front. Give credit to the penalty killers for NC State. Almost an announcer's jinx that I gave right before that. Did a fantastic job, though, preventing that from happening, able to shovel it on out and then clear it down. And if the puck isn't hit as hard as it was, and Nick Shook had nobody in between him and the goal, and the closest player behind them wasn't even to the blue line yet. So really good job by NC State, able to get out of that jam. That's now 3 times in front. Rowan's been able to take the puck right in front of the net, get a lot of bodies, get a lot of chaos in front of the net, and Lawrence has just been able to keep the puck in front of him and out of the net.
Well, NC State sends it towards the net off the draw. Prof's now looking to clear it out. Good pressure on the near wall. Lohr helps hold the zone. He'll slide it deep, looking for Daniel, who's knocked off the puck. Forced back up the near wall again. NC State doesn't have a man over there this time, and it's out of the zone. Ice Pack will reset. Jagielski trying to move it through neutral ice, has it stripped away by Casey. He'll weave through traffic, looking to the far side for Tillerico. His backhand pass intercepted by Lohr. Loose in the high slot, slap try there from Duffy, doesn't get to the net. NC State back in control, elevated up and out. This one's going to go all the way down, and icing is called with 12:54 left in the second.
No line change for the Ice Pack. They're going to have to keep that current line out there. And for Rowan, you had a lot of chaos on that power play. Probably another great chance. I'm not going to say it's their best chance of the game. I think the one at the very end of the first period was, but get an offensive zone face-off. You're starting to get more momentum winning the face-offs again. Can you just keep momentum if you win it?
Loose puck off the draw. NC State will be first to it. That's Jagielski. Crosses over with Lohr as he enters the zone. Quick wrist shot low, gloved and held onto by Colella. And another face-off in the Rowan zone.
It's a good decision there by Luke Jagielski. In alone, 2 defenders to your side. You've got a clear shot at the goal. Shoots it glove side. If it gets saved, it's saved, but it's more than likely going to get a face-off right after you had an icing called. And that's exactly what he did. New bodies out for NC State. And it gives you an offensive zone face-off as well.
Tie up off the draw. This time it's the Profs first to it. They'll break out in the neutral ice. Quickly taken away, though, from Scott and shoveled back in by the Ice Pack. Knoll sends it behind his own cage. Gets some help there from Carter Jones. They'll try and push it up that far wall. Cox holds the zone for NC State. Steps around a man, takes a shot from the far circle, and it's off the glass in the near corner. Up the wall, McConaughey holds the zone again. All the way around the boards. Cox sends it down low. Williams looking out in front. Oliver was tied up, but a pitching McConaughey slaps it cross ice. Taken again at the blue line by Cox. He'll push it along. Glove down by Brenner and sent into the corner for Williams. Backhand pass out for Oliver. Quick shot save made there by Colella. NC State with good pressure here. They've held the zone for about a minute now since that offensive zone drop. Scott pinned to the wall for the Profs on that far side. He'll send it backwards. And Rowan looks to go up the near side this time. Cutting the middle now, Evan Knoll. He finds Scott. Back to the middle, steered into the near corner by Addison Lawrence of NC State. Loose puck picked up by Strong. He'll look across for Logan Todd. On and off his stick. Collected there by David Cutler. He'll turn back up the far side with it. Bodied off the puck by Harmon. And the Profs can't do anything but get it deep. NC State's Lawrence tries to send it up the wall. Hit an official. Rowan will get back control. Milliken fires away. That one hit traffic on the way in. McConaughey gets to the loose puck in the corner. Sending it up the wall. It'll be pushed right back in. And Logan Todd just couldn't maneuver with it. Jack Strong steps around a hit, but he lost the puck. Casey has it for Rowan. Quickly knocked off the puck, though, by Harmon. And he needs some help from David Cutler. Cutler sends it up the near side. Chipped along and out. NC State chasing after it. This one is not going to be strong enough for icing. And now Cox sends it up the wall. Nobody on that far side. Thomas bodied up there. Rowan trying to keep control, but they can't. Nick Shook picks up the loose puck, throws it cross ice for Kaufman, who can't get to it off the wall. About halfway through this second period, not a whole lot of action. Total of 8 shots between the two teams here in this second period so far. Nobody's found the back of the net. Near corner, Profs go to work. Frattaroli dispossessed. NC State's Herman trying to clear. Knocked down, though, by Chandler. And Rowan holds his own momentarily before Cox elevates it out into neutral ice. Casey shovels it right back in for the Profs. Addison Lawrence sets it on a tee for McConaughey. Along to Cox. Saucers one up to the blue line. Glove down by Rudolph and held in by the Profs again. Frattaroli looking for some help. Centering pass, missed everybody, and into the near corner. Holland sends it back below the goal line. Cade Cox there for the ice pack. He finds McConaughey, who steers it up the wall. Holland again holds the line for Rowan on the near wall. Nick Shook there battling with him. Some help from McConaughey as well as it turns into a 4-man scrum with some Rowan players getting in to help. Frattaroli sends it behind the net. Cox furthers it around to the far side as Kaufman taken down. He'll still sweep it along for Herman. He finds Shook crossing over but falling to the ground there. An ice play made. I believe that was Holland who knocked it away from Shook and avoided a good scoring chance for NC State. Another one brewing though for Daniel. Scott Daniel trying to shoulder off his man into the near corner. A couple of players get tangled up. Loose puck picked up by Holland of Rowan. He'll weave down the near side. Throws it towards the net. Off the blocker of Lawrence and wide. And now bouncing puck. Both teams trying to settle it down. It's Holland for the Prof. Centering pass right through the legs of the intended target there. And out of the zone. Prime scoring position there for Taylor Aco, who couldn't get a stick to it. Profs will send it deep. Noah Scherf first there for State. Taylor Rico quickly takes it away near corner, looking for Duffy. He can't handle the bouncing puck, and NC State chips it out into neutral ice. Scott Daniels got some air under it.
It's been about 3.5 minutes since we've had a stoppage, and as I say that, we'll get an icing call. There's the announcer's jinx from before. I was going to say it's been a very long time since we've had a stoppage. It's been really good back and forth hockey, and if you're NC State, you don't have another goal on the board, but you've got 12 minutes off of this game where you've kind of just been a little bit of a slugfest, if you will, with Rowan. They've had their chances in front of the net, but really since that penalty kill, they've kind of limited them.
Pross win the draw. Shot from the top of the circle. Didn't get to Addison Lawrence. A good chance there, though, for Nicholas Thomas. NC State pushes it down the ice. At the blue line, loose puck picked up by Daniel, who's quickly dispossessed. Dante Ardite bringing it forward. Looking for some help at center ice. Nowhere to go but behind the NC State net. Noah Scherf slaps it up and out. Bouncing puck, settled down by Knoll. Just about had it taken away. That'll regroup at the NC State blue line and force it down that far wall. Pokes it along. Scherf takes him down. And we got another penalty coming up on NC State as Scherf I think kind of committed to that hit a little bit late as Knoll was going down and caught him up high, and it's an easy call for the officials there.
I remember it is a hit to the head. It looked to me like Scherf was kind of had his hands up, and Knoll was, it looked kind of just like a bang-bang play. It looked like Scherf didn't mean to hit him. It just happened, but anytime you get a hit to the head and being hurt as well is not going to plead your case of innocence if you're Noah Scherf. Glad to see, though, that Evan Knoll is okay. Just kind of took a shot to the head. It didn't look like it was a stick to the head. It looked more like a hand to the head. The refs they might be discussing the length of it because of the duration, or excuse me, the duration of the penalty because it was a hit to the head. We've seen some 5-minute penalties before. I don't know if that's what they're doing right now, but they're having a discussion with Cowan and JT Zangara of Rowan right now. So very interesting to see what the call is here.
Yeah, I think that's exactly kind of what's going on right now is they're discussing exactly what the call is going to be and why. And we'll wait to find out here. They haven't talked to the scorers table yet. They'll do that here.
react.
We'll get a signal as to exactly what the call is going to be. I'm going to guess it's more than a minor here based on the length of the conversation with Jackson Cowan there.
And I was going to say that as well, just because of the way up, and they did just signal a 5 minute to the PA announcer, Wade Minter. Cowan's still pleading his case for his teammates standing up for him. And get an official word in a second, talking to the bench right now with NC State.
Yeah, this is going to be an important kill for the Ice Pack because with the major penalty, it does not come off the board until that 5 minutes is up. Rowan can score as many times as they'd like. And on top of that, it's the second period, which means it's going to be harder to get those penalty killers off the ice without a stoppage of play if you're NC State. So very, very big power play here for Rowan. And I wouldn't say it's the last chance to get back into this hockey game, but down 4-0. As we get later into this game, it becomes harder and harder to come back, and this is certainly the best opportunity they've had to get on the board yet. They'll control off the draw. Zangara. D to D with Cutler. Right back to him. Cutler again. Across for Rudolph. He'll hand it back as they play catch. Rudolph, top of the far circle, wrist shot, glove save made, and Lawrence going to hold on. There's some pushing and shoving afterwards as Lawrence took a little bit of a whack before the whistle was blown.
That's Evan Knoll right in the middle of that. Or excuse me, not Evan Knoll. It's Justin Carr in the middle of that for Rowan. Had a really good positioning for the deflection into the net. And once the puck came by, he kind of gave a little whack, like you mentioned, to Addison Lawrence. Don't know who it was for NC State that took a big exception to it, but caused for our second big scrum of the game. And I don't think we're going to get any penalties out of this one. Actually, Labrisi's headed over right now. They might be giving Labrisi a penalty after the play because of what happened.
That
exactly
surprises me a little bit that NC State gets the call and we don't see a matching penalty. But if you're the Ice Pack in that situation, you gotta do an exceptional job of tempering your emotions, because now it's 2-minute 5-on-3 for Rowan here. It becomes even more difficult for NC State to kill off this penalty.
Yeah, this is the biggest moment of the game. I think they gave him the penalty because it seemed like Justin Carr didn't really mean to kind of hurt Addison Lawrence, but obviously whenever your goalie gets hit after the play, you're going to want to stand up for him, which is what Labrisi did. And because of that, standing up for him, said, hey, I got Lawrence, I got your back right there. But because of that, it's going to cause for a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. A really big opportunity for Rowan. They absolutely need to take advantage of this chance.
Big win for NC State on the draw, and they're going to clear it, but that'll be a hand pass, and NC State is confused here. I think Cade Cox under the impression that you're allowed to hand pass in your defensive zone, and that is not the case. So the face-off and NC State ice here to the blocker side of Addison Lawrence.
That's the second time there's been a little confusion there. Right before Labrisi took the penalty, he got hit in the head, tried to sell it a little bit, and was looking for a call himself. No call.
Rowan will win the second draw. Cutler over to Rudolph again. Top of the far circle, back to Cutler. They'll continue to pass it back and forth. Rudolph walking around up at the top of the far circle still. Hands it off. Shot coming from Chandler. Blocked by Herman, and a bouncing puck gets out into neutral ice. 30 seconds gone on the 5-on-3. Still 4 minutes on the major to Noah Scherf. Cutler walks it in. Drops it off on the near hashes for Zangara. Cross ice, he'll connect with Rudolph. Top of the umbrella, over to the far face-off dot. One-timer, whistles wide. Cutler holds the near blue line. Rowan still with pressure here on the 5-on-3. Cutler, high slot, Zangara. Cross ice looking for Rudolph, he'll take it off the wall. 1 minute left on the 5-on-3 now. Rowan down low. Chip shot out in front, off of Lawrence. He'll find the rebound and melt it down for another face-off. Big save by the NC State netminder.
I don't know if that was a broken play there by Rowan, because Cutler was vigorously calling for the puck at the top of the point. Seemed like they were working through him, see if they could get a shot with him at the point. If not, swing it to the face-off circle where you had two people waiting for a one-timer in front. But at the end of the play, I think my Rowan just kind of took it deep, tried to get that chaos in front of the net. In front of the net. And good job by Lawrence to keep the puck in front, and a good job by NC State, able to win that face-off and clear it all the way down.
Well, especially with the 5-on-3, the importance of winning that draw and clearing it out and killing some time. I don't think it can be understated. Rowan back to work. Frateroli hands it off at the blue line as he enters the zone. McDonald now in control. He'll walk the line. Looking cross ice, has a man there in Frateroli. Couldn't get the shot away. He had a wide open net. Power play will continue. A little over 5.5 left in the second, down to 20 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. Cross ice pass, misses its target, and McDonald, gives NC State a free clear with 10 seconds left on the penalty to Labrisi.
Once again, the mistakes and the miscues for Rowan are starting to pile up. An easy goal, like you mentioned, for Fraterelli right in front. Just a little late on the timing, and then a bad pass looking back to the point, and allows NC State to get that fourth man back out there.
Frateroli sends it deep. NC State still has 2.5 minutes to kill on the major penalty to Noah Scherf. Some pushing and shoving back behind the net. McConaughey tied up with a Rowan player as the puck is pushed up that far wall. Cowan trying to clear the zone, but there are 3 Rowan players there to shut that down. Profs trying to set up the power play again. A little over 2 minutes left, and a penalty coming this time to Rowan. And you can see the Profs starting to get frustrated, Nick. I think they've just essentially negated the rest of this major penalty as well. 2:06 left on the penalty to Scherf. So there's only, they're going to take them both. That's not a bad call from the officials. McConaughey and Scott had been going at it ever since that puck left behind the net. And it's getting to the point now where the officials need to make some calls to try and settle this down. So I think that's the right play there.
Yeah, sort of behind the net. McConaughey got knocked down, and then Jacob McDonald was just kind of laying on top of him, letting him know that he was the one that knocked him down. McConaughey took exception to it. McDonald took exception to the exception that was being given. And I think the refs probably should have called that a little earlier. It seemed like they were just jarring at each other as the play went on, maybe a little hit or two or a little whack at each other going on, but the refs said they had enough then. I feel like they should have stopped that a little earlier, but you're starting to see them take control of this game.
Rowan controls off the draw, still 5-on-4 with the matching penalties there. Shot off the glove of Lawrence and high. Rowan having trouble holding the zone with a bouncing puck. That was David Cutler who has to retreat with it. Some pressure from Brenner. 1:50 left on the power play for the Rowan Profs. Milliken goes rink wide, trying to create some space. Dropped off for Rudolph at the blue line. Back down low. Walking with it there, Tillerico. Cross to Cutler. Slid down for Zingara. Back to Cutler. 1.5 left on the man advantage. Rink wide to Zingara near side. Tried to flick a bouncing puck on goal and elevated it up over the crossbar. Rowan able to maintain the zone for the power play. Shot, big block, pad save made there by Lawrence. Rebound loose in the slot, and McEnany unable to clear. Rudolph far corner for Rowan. Leaves it there to be picked up by McDonald. Now Vangara into the middle for Milliken. Can't get the one-timer to go, and it slides out of the zone. A minute left on the power play. NC State trying to get some fresh bodies out there, and with the delayed offside, Rowan unable to head back into the offensive zone. Cutler, after wasting some time, will lug it in. He's knocked off the puck there by Strong, and NC State clears it up and out. This has been an excellent kill from the Ice Pack that included 2 minutes of 5-on-3 hockey. And now Rowan getting tangled up with each other. McDonald sends it backwards as the Profs try and regroup and break out. On the near side, Frateroli. He'll weave through the neutral zone. Down the near side now. Fires away. Big blocker save made there by Lawrence. NC State clears, and that should just about finish off the power play for Rowan. 5 minutes of power play time, including 2 minutes at 5-on-3, and the Profs unable to find the back of the net. Still 4-0 NC State, just over 2.5 minutes left in period number 2. And now they can start to put some forechecking pressure on here with it back to even strength.
Well, I think that power play for Rowan kind of sums up the night, and I think it kind of sums up the long break taking into effect. A lot of just not crisp passes being made, a lot of errors being made on that offense. A lot of really great opportunities, but just the timing was off. It seems like Rowan just hasn't been able to build that chemistry back that they had about a month ago. They had a month off from their last game, and I think you saw the effects of that on that last power play.
They've maintained the zone here for the moment. Puck through the legs of Casey, though, gets out in the neutral ice. NC State's top line out there right now. Herman throws it cross ice, trying to connect with Kaufman, but it's Evan Knoll in control. And the Profs chip it all the way down the ice on goal, so Lawrence has to play it. And with pressure coming, he'll cover it up for a draw with 1:42 to go in the second.
Things started looking a little gloomy once NC State went down 5-on-3. Rowan was unable to take advantage, and it seemed like the second NC State got that fourth guy back on the ice, it kind of neutralized any real scoring opportunity Rowan had, and they just started making mistakes to themselves. They weren't able to kind of do what they wanted to do offensively, and it wasn't really anything NC State did. Rowan just could not make the play that was needed.
Shot coming from the point off the draw, deflected wide of Lawrence. Good chance there for the Profs to get on the scoreboard. Near side blue line, Ardite holds the zone, throws it towards the middle, intercepted by NC State's Emery Oliver. He'll carry it out to the middle. He finds Brenner, who lugs it through neutral ice. Looking back across, he had a man at the blue line, that's Scherf, who will throw it deep. 1:15 left in the period. NC State's Cowan has it. Forced out of the zone, he'll swing it back behind the Prof's net, where Evan Knoll can reset for the boys in white. Milliken receives the stretch pass. He's got some speed through the neutral zone. Lost an edge, though, and NC State takes over. Scherf absorbs a hit, sends it up the ice. NC State, though, can't clear the zone. Tillerico, with less than a minute left in the period, finds Ardite, shot through traffic, and it looked like Lawrence was able to see it the whole way and gets a glove on it for the save.
And some jawing after the play. That's Carter Jones for Rowan getting in there. Can't quite tell who that is for NC State. I think it's Noah Scherf. But like you mentioned before, Rowan was just not able to keep offense's zone time. And I think right there was a really good offensive scoring chance. But Addison Lawrence, again, makes a really nice save right in front of the net. Had a deflected puck go his way, able to glove it by himself. Final 47 seconds of this period. And I think Rowan's going to look back on this period if they're not able to get a goal before the end of the period here and think of the big missed opportunity they had. And it was really self-inflicted wounds that did it to them.
NC State powers their way through the neutral zone. Kaufman turning a pass to the middle intended for Herman that's intercepted by Rowan's Holland. He's pickpocketed, though, by Kaufman. Cross to the far corner. He's able to find Shook behind the net. Shook protects the puck, looking for some help backwards. He finds Thronson. 20 seconds left in the period. Thronson shot, glove save made by Colella, but it drops in front of the crease, and the Rowan defense able to clear it into the corner. Looks like we've got a penalty coming up on NC State, as I believe it was number 25, Josh Bianchi, who was upended in front of the net. Actually, it'll be a cross-check on NC State. I was kind of expecting a trip there. Either way, it's a 2-minute penalty on NC State and the fourth power play of the period for Rowan.
And I think that should have been a tripping call, too. I think, and it is going to be Zach Herman to the box. He's not really interested in what's going on there.
And Colella has gone to the bench for Rowan. A little bit of an unorthodox idea here, but down 4-0, 7 seconds left in the period with a power play. I think Rowan's going to try and get 7 seconds of a two-man advantage here to get a chance. But if you're NC State, free pass to throw it at the net here. Rowan wins the draw. They'll get a chance here. Rudolph, D-to-D pass. One-timer right into the gut of Addison Lawrence, who holds on for another face-off.
And more shoving going on after the play. It's getting very physical right now. A giant pile right in front of the net. Caden McConaughey in the middle of it. JT Zangara for Rowan in the middle of it, as well as Jacob McDonald, who's got a bit in a lot of it tonight. And they might be sending both McDonald, they're sending McDonald and McConaughey back to the box. They are. It's the second time they've been given match penalties tonight. And I think it's because of what happened after the play.
Well, I think it was number 34, Ryan Scott, who went with McConaughey the last time.
Yeah,
but
right.
it is, again, it's McConaughey on the matching penalties. And it's the officials are getting to the point where they have to do that in order to kind of settle things down. So We're going to have a lot of guys in the penalty box to start the third and final period, but one last opportunity with the 6-on-4 here for Rowan. They need to get a quick shot with 2.3 seconds on the clock, though.
And Koala out of the net, so if NC State's able to win it, just hammer it home. You never know if you get it in with .1.
That'd be a heck of a shot, I'll tell you that.
Not going to happen, though.
Tied up off the draw, buzzer goes. Rowan maybe got a shot off. Either way, it doesn't get to the back of the net, so a 4-0 lead for NC State after 2 periods. But you know, with the penalties that NC State took, they allowed Rowan to kind of control that period.
Yeah, they definitely did, but I think what cost Rowan and the reason why they still have a big donut on the scoreboard right now is the fact that they're just kind of committing miscues themselves, self-inflicted wounds, a lot of passes that are giving them wide open nets. They just can't get the shot off. Maybe the pass is a little early, maybe it's a little too late, and then we're seeing a lot of passes to the point, especially on the power play, just kind of slip through back into the neutral zone, which kills a lot of time off the clock. And that's a big reason why NC State still maintains a 4-0 lead. And right now at center ice, we got the referees talking to 2 Rowan players and 2 Ice Pack players. I think it's about the penalties that occurred at the end of the period.
Well, it might be a 4-0 lead for NC State after 2 periods, but it's going to be an interesting third period. We'll talk about that as well as recap the second during our intermission report. We'll be back here at Invisalign Arena.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
When you look at me, you might see
a person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
you'll see a warrior mom,
an endurance athlete,
someone with a lot of fight.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Well, we didn't see any goals in the back of the net in the second 20 minutes, but it was an eventful period nonetheless. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you here at the second intermission. NC State leading Rowan 4-0 after 40 minutes. And Nick, as I mentioned, didn't see a lot of offense, from NC State in particular, but they kind of got away from that discipline we talked about in the first period. Took a lot of penalties, I believe a total of 11 penalty minutes for NC State in that period, but penalty kill did a heck of a job.
They did, and I think it was aided by Rowan just kind of giving themselves miscues and kind of self-inflicted wounds. I mentioned it a couple times during the period, but it's true. They had a lot of bad passes that kind of let NC State clear the puck down the zone and get a line change. I don't think they were able to take advantage of that long line change with the 5-minute major penalty, with a 5-on-3 added to that as well. I just don't think that they had the click and connection coming back from the long holiday break that NC State has had, and I think that's a big reason why they don't have a goal yet in this game. Another big reason why I think, though, is Addison Lawrence, who has played phenomenal tonight.
Yeah, he's been seeing the puck really well, even through traffic. And when you spend a lot of time on the penalty kill, you need your goaltender to be your best penalty killer. It's a cliche for a reason, and certainly Addison Lawrence did a great job for NC State when they were down a man. But you look at that, I mentioned about 11 minutes worth of penalties for NC State, or at least in terms of the ones that led to power play time. There were a couple of matching penalties in there as well. But when you have to spend that much time killing penalties, especially with the period of the long change, you don't get a lot offensively. So you look at the first period shots, NC State had Rowan doubled up 15-7. They got outshot 8-6 though in the second period. So they're going to have to find a way in the third to stay out of the box and get back into the offensive zone a little more.
Now, when we came to you for this first intermission, we mentioned there wasn't really anything that we could harp on for NC State. But this period, I think it's pretty easy what we can harp on, and that's just the discipline of this team right now. We've seen it over the past semester. We've seen times where the discipline of this team kind of gets into question a little bit. They get a little too emotional and let the play spill over. It hasn't really cost them too much, and with a 4-goal lead tonight, it shouldn't really cost them that much. It could have cost them, but Rowan just couldn't take advantage of it. But it's something you don't want to see. First game back after the break, still things that you got to clean up in terms of the discipline issues, but I think tonight it's really just trying to keep the gas on the pedal, foot on the pedal with the gas, and try to maintain this 4-goal lead and look to add to it.
Well, it certainly is a comfortable lead for NC State. They've got to hold it for 20 minutes, but there have been a lot of issues in terms of discipline in that second period, as we were talking about. So there will be penalty time, or power play time, I should say, for Rowan to start the third, about 1:53 as a matter of fact, as well as key defenseman in the box for NC State and Cade McConaughey, who they could use on the penalty kill. So it's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that and more when we come back at the second intermission.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Oh, stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. He's a fake.
Oh! I am McGruff, the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it.
You are smart, kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Back here in Invisalign Arena, Nick Perazzi here with goaltending coach and acting co-head coach tonight, Alex Rossetto. Alex, that first period, you guys came out firing on all cylinders. Looked like you guys didn't miss a beat going over the break and missing some players. But that second period, things got a little chippy. Saw a couple penalties. What's kind of the message to keep that discipline in check going into the third?
Yeah,
I honestly didn't think things were really that bad for us because, honestly, a couple of those calls could have gone the other way. I thought there were a couple of weak calls, to be honest. Just for us, we just got to play our game, right? Stay out of the box. I mean, it's just like any other game. You do something stupid, you go to the box. It's an easy up for the other team. So, obviously we just got to stay disciplined, and just put a couple more goals in the net,
Well, as the goaltending coach, Addison Lawrence has been a huge story tonight, keeping a fat goose egg on the board for Rowan right now. What's kind of been the story with him and the message you gave him pregame?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, honestly though, but it's not just this game; it's every game with Addison, right? He's very consistent in just his play. I mean, but the thing that really sets Addison apart is just that puck fight, right? Like he does not want a puck to go by. I mean, every single shot, like he's diving, he's throwing something at it. I mean, you just can't, you can't beat that, right? It's heart and just determination.
Yeah, and we've seen Rowan try to attack the net, get a lot of chaos in front. And like you mentioned, Lawrence doesn't want to go by him. He's doing a heck of a job in front, just trying to trap it, keep it in front of him at all times.
Yeah, I mean, they've taken a couple bullshit shots at Addison, too. So, I mean, which has also led to some of our undisciplined penalties. So, I really wish that the refs would kind of look up and see that same thing, that they are taking a couple shots and taking a couple liberties there. So, hopefully next period we do get some of those calls.
Well, going into this third period, what's kind of the message overall to the team, not just in discipline, but trying to add to some more goals and maintain this 4-goal lead?
Yeah, for us, it's just like stay out of the penalty box, right? I mean, if we stay out of the penalty box, get that momentum going again, get some shots on the net, and we'll be okay.
Well, Alex Rossetto, the goaltending coach, and co-head coach for tonight and tomorrow with me. When we come back, me and Chris will highlight the keys for the third period and what each team needs to work on.
Life is for learning, and that doesn't stop with graduation. A great university goes far beyond campus. It allows you to see the big picture. A great university gives you tools, community, partnership, a launch pad. You don't just go to NC State University. You take us with you. NC State. Think and do.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of DH Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
We got about 5 minutes until we start period number 3. So Chris Lehman and Nick Prozzi here with you. Just going to get you ready for period number 3. And Nick, we talked about it plenty. NC State, few too many penalties in that second period. But most importantly, going into the third, the special teams has been great. Penalty kills got to be good to start the period.
Yeah, already on the penalty kill right away. 2 people in the box, including key defenseman Cade McConaughey in the box to start the period. But it's really just the same thing that you've done the last period. Kind of just play your style of hockey on the penalty kill. Rowan's made a couple mistakes. Try to make them make more mistakes, and I think that will be a big key to success in maintaining a 4-goal lead.
And just to build off of that, I think for Rowan, both of these teams really, the first essentially 2 minutes. It's a little bit less than 2 minutes on the power play for Rowan, but these first 2 minutes are going to be important, because if NC State kills off the penalty, gets through that first 2 minutes, still has a 4-goal lead, you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable for the final 18. But if Rowan is able to find the back of the net, get some momentum that they had started to build in that second period, things get a little bit tighter, because all of a sudden you're a bounce or two away from it really being an interesting hockey game. So these first 2 minutes, I think, are going to be the key to how this third period is going to play out.
Yeah, and I never like to say you absolutely have to score here, but I think Rowan, they definitely need to put it in the back of the net if they want any chance of coming back in this game. First basically 2 minutes on the power play, because if they have the puck when the power play expires and they're in their own offensive zone, they've still got a lot of advantage to it. So I think they definitely need to get in the back of the net in these first 2 minutes of the period. Otherwise, it might be a very long third period for Rowan.
Well, NC State going to take a 4-goal lead into the final 20 minutes. We'll be back with Puck Drop after this.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Life is for learning, from baby steps to big ideas. We plan, try, fail, and do better next time. Each day is a new experiment, a fresh chance to seek answers, connection, purpose. The mind is not a vessel to be filled. It's rocket fuel. And when you start at NC State University, you can't be stopped. The lessons learned here don't end with graduation. A great university goes far beyond campus. It allows you to see the big picture. A great university gives you tools, community, partnership, a launch pad. You don't just go to NC State University. You take us with you. We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go, from ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make, with bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
20 minutes separating NC State from their first win of the 2024 calendar year. 4-0 lead for the Ice Pack over the Profs of Rowan University. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you for the start of the third period. And Nick, as we mentioned in the intermission, it's going to be 1 minute and 53 seconds of power play time for Rowan to start this third period.
Yeah, Herman and McConaughey will be in the box to start the period for the Ice Pack. And I mentioned it in the intermission report. Rowan, I think it definitely just needs to get one in the back of the net. And I think once they see the puck go in the back of the net, I think that might start getting things going for them. The problem, though, is the person in the net for the Ice Pack, Addison Lawrence, has played a phenomenal, out-of-his-mind game tonight. Third period coming up. I know he wants the 0 to stay on the board for the next 20 minutes. We'll see if he can do it tonight, but he's got to kill off. He's got to help kill off 1 minute 53 of a power play for Rowan.
So for NC State, they'll go with McEnany, Brenner, Labrizi, and Thronson as the penalty killing unit. Zangara and Taylorica centered by Milliken, with Cutler and Rudolph on the defense for the power play unit of Rowan. They'll control off the draw and start things out from behind their own net. Up the near side, Rudolph stretching out, can't receive the pass. NC State slaps it in, and a knuckleball puck in on the goaltender Colella. He gloves it down, and Rowan will reset again. Zangara has the puck, get stuck up in a puddle. Chance for NC State shorthanded. McEnany shot blocked in the low slot, and Zangara will backhand it out of danger. Tough break there for Rowan, trying to break it up and out. This time they'll get out cleanly. That's Cutler straight down the middle. Finds Rudolph on the near side. He'll stop inside the blue line. Now Chandler. Over to Zangara. He is knocked off his stick. Has some help though. Cutler up at the blue line. 1 minute left on the man advantage for the Profs power play. Cutler deflects it over to the far wall. Gets it back. Again to Rudolph, top of the near circle. He'll look things over. Up top for Cutler. Directed over to Chandler on the far side. He's pressured out of the zone. And the Profs will regroup with 40 seconds left on the man advantage. Rudolph again bringing it in. Sweeps it around behind the net. And up the near wall, Ryan Scott kicks it back down low. It'll be shot up to the point. Held in by Casey. Shot. I think Addison Lawrence got a piece of it, and NC State clears it all the way down.
Final 20 seconds for Rowan. Got to get a big push here before Herman comes out of the box. Once again, though, NC State doing a good job on the penalty kill. Rowan, though, trying to get the power play one last chance.
Rudolph with speed carries it in, loses it behind the net. NC State sends it right back out. That was Jackson Cowan who finishes off the penalty kill. We're back to 5-on-5. McDonald and McConaughey will return to play after the next whistle to stop the action. Riley Rudolph drags and shoots. Cowan blocks it. Centering pass through skates will be collected by Kaufman, who can't clear for the ice pack. Sent right back in by Rowan's Dylan Casey. NC State again starts the breakout from the near side. Floated through the middle by Cowan. That'll be knocked down, but NC State's Cade Cox able to send it deep. Rowan looking to break out again. Bianchi and Casey get tangled up as they cross the blue line. Puck squirts loose in the middle of the ice. NC State takes over as Nick Shook finds Cade Cox. Ice pack will get it deep. And now Kaufman seals it behind the net. Out in front, big save made by Colella, who came out to the top of the blue plate to challenge that one. Thronson from the near circle has his shot blocked. They'll battle for it in the near corner. Swept around the wall, Labrizi pinching in to hold and does. He'll shovel it behind the net. Nick Shook to it in the near corner. Looking for his support, he'll send it right back down low. Chasing after it, Jagelski. He's in a one-on-one battle. Some help from Scott Daniel. Daniel has it now, forces his way to the middle. Backhand shot, bounces wide of the near post. They'll fight for it behind the net again. Daniel back to the loose puck, far corner. His pass down behind the net, stolen away, and the Profs able to carry it out. Taylor Rico bodied off the puck by Labrizi, who takes over. He'll collect speed, bringing it out of his own end. On the near left wing, Labrizi loses the puck, steps around his defender, gets back to it, banks it back out in front, and a nice save made by Colella on a turnaround shot by Cam Lohr. He did a great job of just pinning the post there and holding his line.
I was going to say, good job keeping his position against that post. Able to stay home. Lohr tried to shovel it up, and that tiny little window right above the shoulder wasn't able to do it. Really good job staying home and making the save.
16:20 left in period number 3. NC State still with that 4-goal lead. We haven't seen a goal since the 1746 mark of the first period. It was Zach Herman's second. Quick shot off the draw from Williams. Deflected off the blocker of Colella and wide. Scherf unable to hold the zone, but he'll send it right back in and give NC State time to get numbers back in front of the puck. Knoll, bank pass off the wall, misses McDonald. Brenner takes it away for the ice pack. His pass up the middle denied. Right back to Brenner, though. And he'll send it back to the defense. Banked off the glass. Knoll holds the zone, slaps one towards the net. Looking for a deflection that he didn't get. This time it'll be lifted up and out by Chase Williams of NC State. And the Profs again Trying to chip it back in, but McDonald lifts it into the netting over on the far side. Another face-off coming.
It seems like we've kind of reverted back to how the first period was, where Rowan's just having a hard time getting into the offensive zone. NC State's forecheck is doing a fantastic job just pounding Rowan to the back of their offensive zone, and then when they try to break it out, they're not letting them, they're forcing them to dump the puck, and NC State's able to collect the puck and able to break out with it.
Rowan forces it out of their zone off the draw. They'll move in. Shot from the high slot. Big pad save made by Lawrence. A juicy rebound, though, and he gets there for the second try. Puck loose behind the NC State net now. Centering pass, bounces out to the high slot. And NC State's Williams able to chip it up and out. Ice Pack able to make a partial change. Good play there by Harmon to poke it loose. Williams looking to get it back to Harmon, but the pass ends up in on goal where Kalila can hold on for another faceoff.
Yeah, good defensive play on Harmon by the defenseman Jacob Holland for the Profs. Not letting him get in front, try to elevate that puck back to the left stick side of Colella to try to make it 5-0. I mean, Colella's played a really good second period. Hadn't faced a lot of shots. He's done a good job this third period so far as well. Faced a lot of very fast shots, and we'll get a redo on the face-off. But I think Colella's starting to settle into this game a little bit. We saw it in the second period. He hasn't faced as many shots, which I think is a big reason why. But he's starting to keep Rowan from letting this game be a big runaway.
Loose puck picked up by Bianchi off the draw. He'll gain the blue line on the NC State end and send it behind the goal. Rowan trying to get some pressure down in the corners. Harmon unable to clear it up the near wall. It squirts loose to the middle. Cade Cox banks it off the far wall, goes after it. But the first one there for Rowan. Number 26, Connor Milliken, who sends it back the other way. Now Carr in control, but I think he's going to head to the sin bin as he took down an Ice Pack player right before he took that puck. Actually, maybe I didn't see a hand pass or a high stick, but that seems to be what it was because there is no penalty on the play. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but NC State will have the puck taken out of their own end here.
I think I heard a referee said it was knocked down with a high stick.
Rowan will control off the neutral zone face-off to the near side. Casey pitchforks it down behind the NC State net. McConaughey first there for the Ice Pack. Slid up the far side for Jack Strong with some help from Harmon, who shovels it out. It'll be a foot race for it. Casey beats Logan Todd to it, and now he'll carry it up that far left side. Casey on McConaughey. Zips one wide of the near post. It rims all the way around the wall and out, where Cutler can take over. Pestered there by Harmon. Rowan moves forward. Now Jones receives the stretch pass. Rips a wrist shot. That's blockered away by Addison Lawrence. Loose near the blue line. Slapper from Casey. And now we are going to get a penalty. It'll be a roughing call. And it's going to go against Harmon of NC State.
Well, back to the penalty kill goes the Ice Pack. 6 minutes into the period. This will be the third person in the box. First penalty they've taken this period, but again, if you're the Ice Pack, the discipline in the second and third period is not what you want it to be in a 4-goal lead. And again, Rowan has given us very slimmer of life to try to come back into this game. They got 2 minutes with 5-on-4 on the board.
Whistle off the draw. They will redo things, but NC State now with 17 penalty minutes that have resulted in 5 power plays for the Profs here. And calling it 5 power plays is maybe a bit of an underestimate, as one of those power plays was 5 minutes long. Labrizzi sweeps it around the wall, but not out for the Ice Pack kill. Cutler walks the blue line, slides it over to the far wall, gets it back for a one-timer, floating shot, bodied down by Lawrence, and then knocked wide by a Rowan player in front of the net. Labrizzi to it far corner. Poke checks it up the wall, but not out. Now Rudolph back to Cutler at the top of the umbrella. Slides it down to the goal line. Back to Rudolph, top of the near circle. Over to Cutler. High slot shot blocked down by Emery Oliver and cleared out by NC State's Cam Lohr. Heck of a job by the penalty kill there. All four will get off for a change with 1:15 left on the man advantage.
Now, what a job by Emery Oliver. Just able to block the shot, and then he kind of kept sliding up to the point. The puck was still underneath him. He was able to just shovel it out, get a quick clear from his teammate. Really good penalty kill there by Oliver and the rest of the Ice Pack.
Here's Casey for the Profs. Stops in the far corner, sends it around the wall where Rowan can set up, but it looks like it was a little strong, and McDonald has to chase it down at the red line. Rink wide for Casey. He'll lug it in once again. Wraps it around the wall again once more. 40 seconds left on the power play now. Again, it's Casey. Directed to the middle, given right back by Bianchi. Cross ice pass disrupted, but the Profs will maintain control down to 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Worked up top, Bianchi settles a bouncing puck at the blue line and holds the zone again, but as it's thrown towards the net, Cade Cox slaps it the length of the ice, and that'll just about do it for the man advantage. Another penalty, though, coming up as Brenner, little overzealous with the hit. He's going to go off for a kneeing penalty, and now Jack Strong is the one under fire for the late shot after the whistle.
And I think Strong shot it right as the whistle was blowing. He didn't see the hand go up. And obviously Rowan was not too pleased with that since there was a penalty. The play was dead. No repercussions from that little scrum. But again, NC State right just about able to get off of the penalty kill. And then with 10 seconds left, another penalty. And it'll be now 18, 19 minutes of penalty time if they're able to kill it off.
The face-off will come all the way back to the NC State end because of the penalty. And it'll be 10 seconds of 5-on-3. Harmon still in the penalty box for the roughing call. But it's going to be Cameron Chandler of Rowan to take the draw up against NC State's Zach Herman. Chandler wins the draw, but wins it too well and all the way out of the zone.
That quick 5-on-3 advantage is right back down to 5-on-4 with 1:50 left on the penalty.
So at the moment, Rowan 0 for 5 on the power play, with a total of 9 minutes of power play time on those penalties. We got 1.5 minutes left on this one. One-timer, save made by Lawrence, loose in the slot, and they can't get the second shot away. Prof still in possession. Centering pass, pinballs through the slot, settled down by Rudolph at the blue line. He'll look things over. Walking forward, slides it across, gets it right back, skate to stick, takes the shot, pad save made by Lawrence. Oh, and a sprawling save on the far side. What a play by the NC State netminder. Now we've got a delayed penalty coming up on, I believe it's coming up on NC State here. And they're going to call a holding penalty on Cameron Lohr.
Lohr is not like the call. Zach Herman also did not like the call. Lohr's asking, what did I do there? There was a giant scrum in front of the net where Lawrence made that fantastic sprawling kick save. Wants to get on the right pad, and they call it a hold. Ooh, Kadeki slamming the door. He's not happy about that call either.
I think if you're NC State and you look at this box score, if you don't include matching minors, the last 7 penalties have gone against NC State. And if you include matching penalties, it's still 9 of the last 11 have gone against NC State. So you can understand why the Ice Pack are mad, and I did not see the hold, but you've got to be extra careful with the way that this game has been called since the conclusion of the first period. 5-on-3 for 30 seconds still for this Profs power play. Now NC State has a man upended behind the net. They're looking for the call and won't get it. Bianchi with the shot. Blocked down in front, still loose in the slot. Now it's Frederoli. His shot blocked. High slot. He'll fire away again. Knocked down by Lawrence, and this time he'll cover up. Lawrence continuing to do yeoman's work down between the pipes to keep it scoreless on the Profs' end.
He's done a fantastic job tonight. And just to clear things up, Lore is not called on the holding penalty. They're going to give it to Cade McConaughey's third penalty of the night. First one that's not a matching penalty. But what another great save by Addison Lawrence. I mean, he's just been a massive story tonight, being able to just be there for NC State. Still got another minute 16 of 5-on-4, at least 12 more seconds of 5-on-3. Last time it was 10 seconds of 5-on-3. Rowan kind of just won the face-off, but it went all the way back down, killed the rest of the time off. They've got to win this face-off and keep it in the zone.
Herman wins the draw, and it was cleared right out of play. I think it might have been deflected on the clearance, but the face-off either way is going to stay in the NC State zone.
And so another chance for Rowan that kills 1 second off. So again, just win the face-off right away. Try to get a quick shot or two and make sure you control the rebound.
Ooh, face-off almost won on net. Lawrence wasn't ready for it, but NC State able to clear after the draw. That'll end the penalty to Brenner. 5-on-4 hockey for about a minute here. Rudolph, rink wide. Chandler slaps it in for the Rowan power play. Under 10 minutes left in this game as NC State clears it back down the ice again. But that's been the biggest issue for Rowan. NC State giving them plenty of power play chances to get back in this game. But so far they haven't capitalized on any of them. Cutler hands it off to Zangara. Back to Cutler, miscommunication. Cowan will get to it in the far corner and wrist it the length of the ice.
Yeah, puck control, I think, when you look at the end of this game, like the big reason why you see NC State with a 4-0 lead right now, obviously a lot of time left in this one, 9 minutes to go, you're going to notice that the puck control was going to be the massive story in this one as Brenner gets a great turnover.
Brenner didn't have the space to get to the net, but he'll carry it behind the goal and waste some more time. Zangara collects the loose puck for the Profs. Moved up the far side to Chandler. Top of the far circle. Shot held on to by Lawrence, and that will conclude the penalty. And the Profs now 0 for 7 on the man advantage.
Yeah, and I believe that's about 21 minutes that an NC State player has been in the box tonight. And Rowan unable to capitalize on any of those power plays tonight. And given the circumstances, I think NC State's penalty kill and power play, really special teams as a whole, they have done a fantastic job and have stepped up to the big, tall tasks tonight.
Good hustle there from Jagelski to negate the icing call. NC State maybe not used to not being able to ice the puck. They've spent so much time on the penalty kill in these last two periods. Puck deflected on the stretch pass, so no icing here on the Profs. NC State will regroup behind their own net. Up the near side, Jagelski tries to chip it off the wall and out. Evan Knoll holds his own momentarily. Loose puck. Pool sticked along there by Jagelski. NC State will lift it deep. The defenseman Thronson in on the forecheck. Sends it around the wall. Rowan will collect there as NC State makes a change. Knoll backhanded up the near side. Stolen away by Logan Todd. Todd picked up his first goal of the season back in the first period. And now the puck deflects out of play on the near side. Face off to the blocker side of the goaltender, H.A. Colella.
Well, final 8:01 to go. Haven't seen a goal since that 17-minute mark back in the first period. If there is another goal in this one, there will be a big reason for whether it's NC State or Rowan, and there's a couple reasons why that is.
Here's Spencer Harmon, tangled up for a moment, got loose and wristed one high and wide. This will give the Profs a chance to move with speed. Tellerico, centering pass from the far corner, nobody in a white jersey there. NC State reverses the direction of play here. Now Lohr lugging it in, lost an edge on the Hash's far wall, leaves it for Strong. He'll wrap it behind the net. Looking for options, holds it along the half wall. Sears it back for Lohr. Centering pass for Strong. It hops his stick. And now Rowan with a chance to move forward. Tellerico kicks it to the stick as he crosses the blue line. Again looking to the middle, and once again it's intercepted as Spencer Harmon button hooks with it to create time and space.
One thing I don't think we talked about a lot tonight, Chris, is that first line for Rowan. We haven't really said many of those top guys on there. Taylor Rico, one of them, Zangara. We haven't really mentioned their names tonight. It's a good chance for NC State right in front of the net. Give credit to the Ice Pack for taking those names away.
Losing the low slot. Prof's able to force it out of the zone. Now Holland will wrist it deep. Reaching out. Addison Lawrence gets a block or two to steer it into the corner where NC State can break out. Off the wall for Kaufman. Nice move there from McConaughey to find him. Now Kaufman steps through the defense and kind of just taps one in on goal. Kalela will hold on, and a couple of guys tangled up behind the net after the whistle.
Yeah, McConaughey took a big tumble. Connor Milliken behind the net. Give him a little push after the play. Momentum was carrying Kaufman. Couldn't keep his balance. Took a big shot to the ground. Another offensive zone faceoff for NC State. Approached the final, 6:38 to go. I mentioned that the next goal for either team would be a big one. I think not as much for Rowan, but for NC State, getting that 5th goal would do wonders for them as well on and off the rink.
Off the draw, Herman wins it to Kaufman. Back to Cox. His slapper just missed the near post. And Cutler bodied off the puck as he tried to clear. Got some help, though. Now NC State sends it in. Herman in on the forecheck for the Ice Pack. Skating away from it is Casey. Finds a man up the far side. It'll be carried into the offensive zone by Cutler. Throws it to the middle, and there to scoop it up in the glove was the goaltender, Lawrence.
Well, I think something that's kind of underrated that we mentioned last period, but we haven't really mentioned a lot this period, is NC State has 11 shots since that first period ended, and Rowan has caught up all the way to be down 26 to 23 in the shot column. And I think a big reason for that is the penalties, obviously. NC State's kind of been on their heels the entire time, but 23 shots on goal, 23 saved so far by Lawrence. We'll try to keep it that way the final 6.
Cade Cox looks cross ice to the far side where he's got Emery Oliver. Slid to the middle for Williams. As Oliver knocked down over on the far side. Now we're going to get a whistle and a penalty here. Rowan was in control, so I believe this will go on the Profs. And it's going to be Dante Ardite headed off for 2 minutes.
He gave a hit on Emery Oliver, and Oliver saying it went into the head because his helmet popped up a little bit.
I think what he's doing is trying to show blood.
Yeah.
He's trying to get that extra 2 minutes. And kind of the smirk you could see on the official's face was kind of a nice try, but it's not there. So a 2-minute minor on the penalty to Ardite. That'll be a roughing call.
And when Oliver took that hit, he kind of had to put his helmet back on as well. That's why I thought he got hit in the head. I think the hit might have just jarred it a little up. But NC State goes on the power play. Just the 3rd time today they've been on the power play.
Rowan controls off the draw, and their penalty kill will send it all the way down behind the net. Lawrence sets it on a tee. Herman will start the power play back up from behind his own net. Straight through the neutral zone, Williams dispossessed at the blue line. Puck caught up in the skates of Knoll, who eventually finds it and clears it back out for the Profs. 30 seconds gone on the man advantage. Just under 5.5 left in the game. NC State comfortably in control, 4-0. It's been that way since late in the first period. Cade Cox with speed into the zone. Wraps it around behind. Kalela overcommitted a bit, but NC State couldn't make him pay. Cox banks it off the wall, looking for Williams. It works its way all the way behind for Scott Daniel. Back to Williams. He'll backhand it up the wall for Cade Cox. Trying to step away from Jones. He'll walk down the wall with it. Cox, backhand pass to the middle. Hopped the stick of Oliver, but found McConaughey. Back to Cox. A little over halfway through the man advantage now. McConaughey slides it down low for Daniel. Steers a pass across. Couldn't connect with Williams, but a nice play by the outstretched Cox to keep the puck in at the blue line. Ice Pack going to turn it over anyhow, though, and Holland shovels it out of the zone with 35 seconds left on the man advantage for the Ice Pack. They'll make a change and regroup on the power play again.
As Cade Cox goes off the ice, I think he had a wraparound goal, but Jacob Holland stayed with the play for Rowan, able to make a big play to help his goaltender out.
20 seconds left on the power play now. Nick Shook. Cross ice for Thronson. He's got space to move it in. NC State Delayed offsides there, but it doesn't matter as Zingara forces his way through, trying to get a chance on an unsuspecting Lawrence. I don't think NC State was quite ready for that kind of aggression from Zingara. Power play over for NC State. Down under 4 minutes left in the game. Zingara again. Wrist shot hit a body on the way through. Labrizzi was in the way. Nick shook behind his own goal. Pestered there by McDonald. NC State still in control. Kaufman leaves it for Herman. Back behind the net for Labrizzi and move forward to Thronson now. Skate to stick. The centering pass finds Herman. He's got speed, looking for the third goal. Takes the shot as Kallela comes out to challenge on the near side and makes the blocker save. Profs send it the length of the ice. Bouncing puck skitters past the goal line, and it'll be icing on Rowan.
That last change there for NC State, I think that occurs because Mike Fraterelli was a little lazy coming off the bench on the line change. Allowed NC State to able to enter the zone cleanly and get a quick shot on goal.
Daniel to take the draw for NC State up against Cameron Chandler of Rowan. Off the tie-up, it's the Profs coming away with possession. They'll move it up the far side. Gliding down that far wing. Shot hits a stick and pops up over the net. David Cutler on the shot.
Sorry, Chris. 3 minutes to go in this one. If you're Rowan, getting 4 goals in 3 minutes is an extremely tall task. I think they just got to start thinking outside of the box here. Just start letting it rip on goal any chance they have, and just see what they can get out of this one.
Quick shot off the draw, doesn't get to the net for the Profs. NC State moves it into neutral ice. Chipped along by Scherf, but he sent it right into the Rowan bench. And the face-off will come out on to center ice here.
Now Rowan just trying to maintain puck possession, and again, when they win the face-off, they just can't maintain possession off the face-off win. A little tie up there. They're able to get possession here, but the question is, can they get it into the offensive zone?
There's some good footwork there, too, from Fraterelli to make that play on the face-off and win it. Profs trying to set up the forecheck over in the far corner. 4-man scrum that includes Daniel for NC State, as well as Cowan. Cowan finds Daniel, who retreats behind his own net to create some time for the breakout. Elevated pass cross ice, settled down nicely by Laura and handed off to Daniel. He'll force his way into the offensive end, and we've got a whistle. I think NC State was working with the delayed offside there.
Well, looking ahead to tomorrow with 2:15 to go, don't know who's going to be in net for either team, but both goalies tonight, especially AJ Corella, has faced a lot of tough shots, but both goalies have made fantastic saves. No goals since that first period. I mean, both goaltenders really took control of this one, especially the penalties as well. So going into tomorrow, assuming we're going to see 2 different goaltenders, but you never know.
Big hit by Milliken over on the far side to jar the puck loop. Bianchi moving back forward. One-timer from the far side on a loose puck, zips wide. You can see Rowan just trying to get the puck to the net and break up this shutout before they run out of time. 1:44 left, as you can see on your screen. Forcing his way to the middle there, Bianchi, and loose puck pounced on by Lawrence. He'll hold on for another draw.
Final 99 seconds here. And if you're NC State, you're working with something right now. I don't want to say anything, but you're working with something. You want to help that chance out. I think right now you're content with the 4-goal lead. I think offensively, you're just trying to kill the rest of the clock, stay healthy, and go into tomorrow.
Rudolph trying to get a shot away off the draw. Nice stick play there by Brenner to deny the shot. Second try, hits traffic in front, deflects to the far side. Another one-timer from the point. This time Lawrence sees it all the way, and he'll get out of the way of the traffic coming in after the fact. But another nice save by Addison Lawrence.
And That's just been the big story tonight. Big save after big save for Addison Lawrence. And I think Lawrence, even the numbers will suggest it, I think he's kind of come away as that go-to goaltender for NC State this season. Got the nod today, first game after the break, and I think this game helped solidify that.
NC State wins the draw. Cross-ice pass through neutral ice is denied by our Dite and sent right back into the NC State zone. Awkward bounce off a stanchion on the clear. Will keep it in the NC State end as well. It's Brenner circling with it, or pardon me, Oliver, who sends it across for Labrizzi, off the glass and out. Bouncing puck collected at the Rowan blue line by Evan Knoll. Knoll collecting speed through the neutral zone. Has space, takes a shot from the high slot. That's blocked on the way in. NC State unable to clear. Another chance here for Rowan, down to 45 seconds. NC State well on their way to starting 2024 off on a very good note. Save made through traffic there by Lawrence. Puck loose behind the net. Lawrence swats the rebound away and into the near corner. 30 seconds left as the Ice Pack send it all the way down. Not enough distance, though, or not enough power on it for icing. And so play continues with 20 seconds left. Cowan clears it out once more. This time it is going to get all the way down behind the Rowan net. And the clock stops with 13.7 left.
14 seconds to go. I've been hinting at it all game. Don't think we're going to get that 5th goal for the Ice Pack for Queso goal. Really wanted that tonight to see that happen. Been hinting at it all third period. We never really got a chance to get that, but 13 seconds left. If NC State's able to keep Rowan out of the net, I think it'll be a much better outcome than Queso goal.
NC State advances off the draw. This should solidify the shutout for Addison Lawrence as Nick Shook knocked down along the wall as time will run out on the Rowan Profs. NC State, on the back of a 4-goal first period, come away with a 4-0 win in the first of back-to-back games against the Rowan Profs. And Nick, you know, it really was about that first period. After that, for NC State, it was a lot about defending and killing penalties.
Yeah, it was. I'm sure many of the fans would have wanted that 5th Queso goal, but I think a trade-off with a shutout tonight from Addison Lawrence will be taken 9 times out of 10. What a job by Lawrence in net tonight as the boys go over and congratulate him. Wagon Wheel playing to start 2024 off on a right note for the Ice Pack. They'll be playing back to it, or get back right to it in the locker room with a nice celebration tonight. Another game tomorrow, though, at 7:30. Puck drop at 7:45. Got to get your head around that one. You got a good win tonight, but the last 2 periods are a lot of things to work on for NC State. And I think the big thing, though, that they got to keep going into tomorrow is the defense that this team played tonight. They're able to lean on Addison Lawrence a little bit, especially towards the end of the game. But at the end of the day, 0 goals on the board. Give credit to the defense and Addison Lawrence. A shutout to start 2024.
Just a few unofficial numbers for you to wrap things up before we head to the postgame. NC State and Rowan even in shots on goal, both teams with 27 shots throughout the course of the game. Profs controlled the face-off circle for most of the game. Unofficial count 29-21 in favor of the visitors at the face-off dot. And of course, Addison Lawrence, a 27-save shutout is the big performance for NC State tonight. Also worth noting, the special teams. NC State kills off all 7 power plays for this Rowan team while going 1 for 3 on the power play themselves. So NC State picks up the win. They'll look to continue a good start to the 2024 calendar year tomorrow night as they take on Rowan University one more time. You can join us at 7:30 for that one. We'll be back with postgame right after this.
From the top of DH Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Well, if you missed the first 20 minutes of this one, you might have missed all the goals, but you didn't miss all of the action. NC State 4-0 winners over the Rowan Profs here to start the 2024 calendar year. Chris Lehman, Nick Prozzi with you here post-game. And, Nick, it was a great start for NC State from an offensive standpoint. They get those 4 goals. Then things got away from them a little bit from a discipline standpoint, but you got to give the special teams, and particularly the penalty kill and Addison Lawrence in net, a lot of credit for keeping Rowan with 7 power plays, including a 5-on-3, keeping them off the board.
Yeah, and Rowan really caught up in the shot category. I think they finished with 27 or 28 shots on the night, and Lawrence saved every single one of them. There was a lot of times where the puck was loose right in front of the net. He was able to keep it in front. Goaltending coach Alex Rossetto even said that's what he's known for, keeping the puck in front, able to stay with it at all times. That's exactly what he showed tonight. A big shutout and a great way to start the year 2024 for the Ice Pack.
Absolutely, and I think now as we look at it, you look at the contributions up and down the lineup tonight too. Obviously after the first period, nothing on the score sheet in terms of goals, but you get some really strong play. We talked about that Jack Strong line with Jagelski as well as Scott Daniel, and I think we kind of rotated in Cam Lore. I think we saw him in there a little bit tonight as well, but the bottom of the lineup I thought looked very strong.
Yeah, they did, especially in that first period. Even Jack Strong got an assist. That bottom of the lineup was able to get 1 or 2 goals, I believe, tonight, which is something you really, really like to see. And it just shows the depth of this team. Coming into this season, they knew they had a lot of depth. It was just who was going to step up in leadership, and was that competition going to carry over into the season. Didn't really see the competition heat up towards the end of the semester, but with players gone right now, I think that competition is red hot. There are players who haven't had a lot of ice time this year that have showcased exactly why they deserve to play every single night here for the Ice Pack.
Yeah, and you bring up something that we haven't mentioned since the beginning of the broadcast, really, was the missing players. And again, congratulations to that Premier All-Star team, a 5-2 win. Bressingham and Z-Rob goals for NC State. I believe Coach Healy told me as well, Bressingham's goal was the game winner. So a lot of positives going on for NC State, both here domestically and internationally. But to get back to that point, 5 key players, including your captain, Garrett Arini, and on top of that, your head coach, all across the pond, and you still come away with a 4-0 win over a team that's ranked in the Southeast region.
Yeah, it's a really good win, and I know all those boys and Coach immediately watched us tonight. Shout out to them. Their team did a fantastic job over in Europe, but the Ice Pack did a really great job tonight filling in for your guys' absence. Give a lot of credit to them. And you mentioned it, Chris, before. We didn't really talk about until the beginning of the broadcast about the players missing, and we saw people step up in big ways. We saw a couple of multi-goal scorers. That first line for the Ice Pack, it's kind of been that main first line for most of the year. They still showed that they've got it, and you mentioned the depth of this team. It's just truly phenomenal what we've seen coming out of the break.
Well, some of the praises we sung for pretty much the entire game. Addison Lawrence in net is going to join us to talk about his 27-save shutout on the other side. NC State 4-0 winners over Rowan.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Oh, stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money, so...
if you guys want any... OMG, it's McGruff!
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog! He's a fake!
Oh!
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it out.
You are smart, kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. I'm here with the man that started 2024 on the right note with a shutout, Addison Lawrence. Played a phenomenal game. You were raving over some of the saves you made up in the booth tonight. Going into tonight, you guys were missing a couple people. What was kind of the message to you as a goalie, knowing you were missing some key players in front?
Pretty much just play as hard as you can, essentially. I mean, we're missing people, and it's unfortunate, but they're overdoing good things, so that's fun. But, I mean, really, it's just another game. You just have to play hard, play with intensity, and come out on the right foot, and we did that tonight.
And your teammates stepped up in a big way for those missing players, something we mentioned a lot as well. That first period, Rowan didn't get a shot off for the first 12 minutes, so sitting there for 12 minutes, not seeing a lot of shots on goal necessarily. There was still some action, but watching your teammates go down, get 2-3 quick goals, kind of sitting back there waiting for that first shot. What do you kind of tell yourself about keeping in the game and try to stay with it?
I mean, I was kind of sit there and I was like, I just want a shot. But at the end of the day, it's kind of just you have to do what you can do to stay focused. If you don't stay focused, that's when the problems start coming in from not seeing shots for a long time like that. But, I mean, really just stay in the game, stay in the moment, and just hope you get a shot as soon as you can.
Well, in the first intermission, we interviewed Logan Todd. He kind of said the message to the team was win out. We can't afford to lose another win. Is that kind of something that resonated strong with the locker room coming off of the break, knowing, hey, we're a little low in the standings, played a hard schedule, but we've got a lot of winnable games coming up?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely went out of break, and I mean, losing to UNC was not what we wanted to do at all, and I think that kind of showed people, like, we need to put in the work, we need to put in the time and effort, and if we do that, we can play really good hockey, and come out with a record that we want to come out with at the end of the season.
One final thing for you tonight. How does it feel to get that shutout tonight? Start the year off right.
It feels good. It feels good. I'm excited to go home and watch some TV though. It's been a lot of fun tonight.
A lot of fun. It was a very fun night for the offense in the first period. Addison Lawrence had fun all night tonight. A 27-save shutout. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with, assistant coach Eric Mura with Chris interviewing him.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Chris Lehman back with interim head coach Eric Mura for the NC State Ice Pack. And Eric, obviously a big 4-0 win for you guys here this evening. Good way to start the new year, coming off about a month, a little bit longer than a month-long break. And you're missing your head coach and 5 key players who are across the pond playing with that ACCHL Premier All-Star team. So it's got to feel pretty good, even though, there were parts of the game you want to clean up. It's got to feel pretty good to get that win.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It just kind of shows what our culture is, right? It's all about that next man mentality. It's all about making sure that if you're in the lineup, you're giving your 100%. And I think, as you saw tonight, everybody gave that effort. Everybody was competing. Everybody was battling. I didn't have to sit anybody. As a coach, I don't want to sit, right? So, I mean, yes, there's a lot of things that we like to clean up. The penalties. I mean, I think we had 11 to 15 minutes in the second period, and it was just not what we want to do, right? We want to establish that forecheck. We want to understand that, we want to grind hard. That's our style of hockey, and we can't do that when we're, man's down.
You mentioned the penalties, and that was kind of the story after the first period was the penalties. And obviously, it's never something to be happy about when you take that many penalties, but you had a heck of a penalty kill tonight. Probably 20-plus minutes of penalty time killed off, including a full 2 minutes of 5-on-3. You got to really love the way the special teams looked, because you also go 1 for 3 on the power play.
Oh, absolutely. So when we came into this season, and we mentioned it earlier today with you, is we want to increase our special teams, right? Well, that means I want a higher percentage on the penalty kill. I want a higher percentage on the power play. And 100%, you can't get much higher on the penalty kill, right? So, I mean, that 5-minute major and then having that that really 2 minutes on the 5-on-3, it was huge. And you can see the energy coming off the guys. And now we went back in the box, and we don't want to do that, because after that 5-minute, we kind of just want to go out and roll with our 4 lines and play 5-on-5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm extremely happy. I mean, as the PK guy, I'm extremely happy for that 100%. And honestly, I thought our power play looked really well. Our top line, I thought they were moving the puck well. They got that 1 power play goal. They looked good. I mean, everybody was looking good today. It was all about the puck movement.
You talk about looking good. I felt like the bottom 6 really contributed a lot in this one as well. You saw the goal from Logan Todd in there in that first period as well. So you have some of those guys that come in. They may have only played 8, maybe 9 games, even some of them fewer than that in the first semester. To have them come in and produce and contribute the way they did, I mean, obviously you talked about the culture, but you don't really know what you're going to get until you see it on the ice. And to have that many new faces really on the ice and to have that kind of result, it must really boost the confidence.
Oh, absolutely. And you also got to realize we have 2 defense that are playing forward, right?
Yeah.
So we have Jagelski and Strong. They're typically defensemen. They're taking a new role this weekend, and they're playing forward. And, I mean, I thought overall they played great. I mean, it's funny to see, like, some of these guys that are not typically in the lineup. They'll come out here and they give it harder than anybody else because they want to fight for that spot. And that's what our culture is about, is compete, right? It's a next man mentality. It's compete. I want to go who's next man up. Like, that's what it is. And I thought the battle was there. The compete was there. It looked great. I mean, overall, I was can't be unsatisfied. Take away the penalties, but other than that, we'll be good.
And, of course, you have one more game against Rowan coming up here tomorrow night. You don't want to change the result, obviously, and we've talked about the penalties, but what else do you want to see out of this team to build off of the effort from here this evening?
I think it's the first period. If you go back and look at the first period, I mean, yes, the 4 goals are great, but you also got to look, like, our forecheck was really going hard. Like, we were getting down low, we were grinding, hitting, and then getting to the front of the net. I think the big thing I want to focus on tomorrow is getting our guys to the front of the net. That goalie, both goalies kind of are giving up rebounds, right? So we want to make sure that we can crash hard, we can kind of get those dirty goals. It's not going to be pretty sometimes, and when some of these guys that are coming up in the lineup, they're not going to score these highlight reel goals, is what you would say. But grinding in front of the net, getting that loose puck, like, that's what it's about. So.
They don't put pictures on the scoreboard.
They do not.
Well, NC State, a 4-0 win tonight over the Rowan Profs. They'll be back at it again tomorrow night. You can catch us at 7:30 as we get prepped for Puck Drop. That'll do it for us here on PackTV tonight. Again, the final count, NC State 4, Rowan 0. Thank you. We'll probably going to bring our stuff down.